Good morning, everybody. Ben and Woods, 97.3. The Fan. Great to be here with you on a Tuesday morning, April 16th. Hope you got all your tax crap done.
Or not. If you lived in San Diego,
You're fine.
You're fine.
But just, I hope that you're in process, right? Like you have the wheels in motion.
I'm
on
actually
it.
just in process.
You're in process?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, we're done. We owe a lot of money, so that's fun.
Ooh.
But, listen. What'd Biggie say? Mo money, mo problems. Right? He was absolutely right. Sucks, man. I would never want to be filthy rich. It's too much to worry about. Did you guys see Mark Cuban's tweet? By the way, I'm Woodsy. That's Paul Rindle, the executive producer. Ben Higgins, your friendly neighborhood sports anchor. Did you see Mark Cuban's tweet the other day? He's like, I'm going to pay what I owe because that's what good American citizens do. It was like $288 million or something insane. Like stroking that check.
And he won't miss it.
100%. That's the thing, man. It's like, I'm good. I don't need to make any more money. I don't want to make any more money. I am fine. I'm fine.
It's weird because I always have the thought, and I think you deserve everything that you get. You work hard, you should be able to make as much money as you want. However, Mark Cuban has the same 24 hours in the day as the rest of us.
Right.
And I don't know that anyone is so brilliant or successful that they should make, 20,000 times what a normal hardworking person does.
I'm not going to blame Cubes, though.
Is that a really, am I now a left-wing communist? Because
I think so. Yeah.
I feel like there are so many hardworking people in America. And I think Mark Cuban's probably one of them, as are many billionaires. But they don't have more time or necessarily more.
Well, you know what they're good at?
I just feel like that's kind of ridiculous, isn't it? That they make so much money.
They're good at maximizing. Here's what they don't do.
I mean, Mark Cuban was also a pioneer in what the
sports,
internet is today.
Exactly.
The internet.
Yes.
You come up with the internet. Have a ball.
Here's what
and he absolutely deserves to be filthy rich because of it. But now he's just kind of making a lot of money on his money. It's like once you've gotten
once you've got your money
rich, then just getting more rich is a little too easy now.
Well, you know what? Listen, here's what he doesn't do. He doesn't work 4 hours, go home, lay in bed and relax for a while, then amble around the house. Like, I often think, I'm tired. Like, when I get out of here, I am spent emotionally. I am just, not physically, I'm not, whatever, but emotionally, I'm drained. I need to reset. Those guys don't really need a reset. That's the weird thing. They have this motor. Maybe it's cocaine. I have no idea. There's this motor that goes on, and it never stops. And their brain is always moving and thinking about what's next. And I do admire that. I admire those people that are able to do that. I'm not one of them. I'll give you my 4. You can get my best 4 that I've got in me, and then I'm cashed. I am cashed after that. So it's great to be here with you guys. And today actually is National Bean Counter Day. Yesterday, there were some beans counted
and
eaten on this show. And I will just update everyone on how that went. I did the Bean Boozled. This was not the Bean Boozled Challenge. The Bean Boozled Challenge is actually for little kids. Grown men do the handful of Bean Boozled beans. You were right when you ate the dead fish. I wasn't hungry really all day. I just had the taste of bandage in my mouth, the scabby Band-Aid that I just ate. And so I walked around yesterday. I got home and I was like, am I hungry? I went to the gym, and then I left the gym, and I had a protein shake, and I was like, that didn't taste good. Got home, I was like, I need to eat. I was like, I'm not hungry. I'm not hungry at all. I probably lost 3 pounds yesterday thanks to the Bean Boozled Challenge. It was gnarly. And I showed my kids last night when we were having dinner. I showed them, and they were like, this is unbelievable. Bo really liked your commentary.
Oh, good.
Bo's a big fan of your commentary. So
I was inspired by Sam Levitt's TARP play-by-play to do a little Bean Boozled play-by-play yesterday.
Yeah, so it was, that was, I don't know that I want to do that again. I don't think I do. Like I said, if the Padres win the World Series or something, sure, no problem. I'll let you chew them up, spit them in my mouth like a baby bird. We can French kiss with them in our mouths if they win the World Series.
Just the worst for both of us.
It's just the worst thing you could possibly think of. That's the update on that. It was terrible, as you might imagine. It was horrendous. Stuck with me. Stayed in the bean meat. Stayed in my teeth all day.
Yeah.
I brushed my teeth. I rinsed. I did everything. There was jelly bean meat in my teeth.
Yeah, I think I interrupted you before you introduced the cast of characters. So
I did that already.
Did you introduce?
Yeah,
everybody?
I said that's Paul Ryle, the executive producer, Ben Higgins.
Totally missed that. I thought I jumped in before you did that.
No, I did it quickly today. I just weaseled around it.
So I did get some more extra work done yesterday. I started working on my mock the draft. Last night, which I believe we will get to next Wednesday, right before I go on my vacation, because the draft is next Thursday. So
right before you leave early.
I'm leaving early. Yeah. Well, you can play it twice if you want while I'm gone. There's your.
Probably will.
Yeah, go ahead. We'll do it once early in the show, and then you can play it after I leave early on Wednesday on my vacation.
You got a flight to catch?
I've got a car to catch.
I still can't believe you're driving to Las Vegas. I
always do.
I can't wrap my head. Arizona, absolutely. Easy peasy. Could never imagine flying to Arizona
Vegas
again.
is closer, technically, than Phoenix.
But it's way worse of a drive.
Not on a Wednesday, I think, at 9 a.m.
All right.
I think it'll be okay.
How about what day are you coming home?
I will be coming home. I think I might come home Saturday night.
If you leave at night, you'll be okay.
I might do that and leave at night while everyone's still, partying in Vegas.
It's the most excruciating drive that I've ever been on.
Never again.
And it's happened more than
Sunday afternoon is absolutely excruciating.
And I've done it a few times.
Either leave at 6 a.m. or stay till Monday.
Usually after like a baseball tournament where we just raged and played baseball, so it was double death. But some of the worst experiences of my life were driving to and fro Las Vegas. And you are doing it next week, and you're leaving on Wednesday, so you'll miss the round table.
I will miss, I believe this week's round table I'll be there, but next week's round table, someone's going to have to take over moderating duty.
Has Adam absolutely chewed you out like he did me? Has he asked you to move your golf reservations?
No.
Like he did me for my stitches that I had to get out of my back? He has not asked you yet. Huh.
No.
I get a lot of special treatment here at Odyssey San Diego. Lots. And by special, I mean not great sometimes. But so he didn't ask you to move or anything like that?
No.
Oh, cool.
Nor would it be possible. We're playing in a tournament. I don't schedule it. That's just when it's on the calendar.
Cool.
So got to be there if you're going to make it.
Very cool.
Or you're disqualified.
Very cool.
You don't make it in time. Which is why I want to leave at 9 a.m. So I don't get disqualified.
Little words of wisdom here. Mrs. Rindle works for Caltrans. She says, do not leave at night. That whole drive, that's when they do construction.
I'll just leave early Sunday then before everyone gets up.
I mean, early Sunday is probably the move.
Early, before checkout time at the hotels.
So you're going to Vegas Wednesday night, Thursday night, Friday night, 4 nights in Vegas.
Yes. Now I'm just staying at my buddy's house. We're not on the strip or anything.
That's your buddy Scott.
Yeah. And
the last time you guys went on a guys' golf weekend, you played what in your room? Monopoly?
Scrabble.
That's right. Now that was where? Arizona?
That was Arizona, yeah.
All right. So Vegas I'd say the nightlife's a little bit more robust.
True.
So live it a little bit.
There'll be some gambling. We like gambling.
Okay. Will there be any other extracurricular
Probably
activities?
not. I mean, eating. We like eating and gambling in Vegas.
Gambling, and golfing.
Yes.
It's not the
eating,
worst.
Gambling, and golfing.
That's not the worst trip.
That's our trifecta of vacation right there.
Can I ask that you don't play any board games?
Yeah, you probably can ask that. I doubt that'll happen on this trip.
You promise me?
There's too many other activities.
It made me very sad when you did that last time. So please, I don't want to be sad again about you. I want to imagine you. Let my imagination run wild. Would you do that for me?
Yes. Yeah, I will let your imagination go anywhere you want it to go.
These cats sitting there playing Sorry, dude. Yahtzee, the whole thing. Like, go to casino. Go rage a little bit. Cut loose. Let it flow.
How about strip clubs where you play board games with the strippers?
Now
how's that for a
that's
concept?
not the worst idea I've ever heard. You and Erica playing Candyland whilst having crab leg buffet. It's not the worst thing you've ever done or said.
Crossover concepts here.
You're like the Mark Cuban of great ideas here. That's not the worst thing.
Dave and Buster's and the Spearmint Rhino all in one.
That's like the best idea you've ever had. Babe, if there's games there, that's why I'm taking it. They like the games. Are you kidding?
Nude skee ball.
Are you joking? It's not the worst idea you've ever had, Benjamin. Yeah. So when you get out there, are you gonna do the strip? Or are you going to be?
He lives his house is in Henderson, and that's where
it's a bit of a hike.
That's where his the golf tournament that we're playing is going to be. So I assume we'll get out at least once out to one of the major casinos on one of the evenings while we're there.
Brandon wants to know: am I a table or slots guy? I'm a table guy because I'm not 100 years old, and I'm not good. That's not me being like some badass gambler. I get my teeth kicked
We
in.
usually will find a poker tournament somewhere,
Yeah.
in Vegas where you can sign up and play a certain amount of chips, and just that's always fun.
Yeah, it's a 6 hour. It's a good way to eat up.
It is
4 to 6
without,
hours.
Yeah,
too.
you're not constantly losing.
Right.
At
Bro, blackjack's such a
you're
blast,
probably
but
gonna
you're
lose
done.
your entry fee, whatever it is, $100, and you're probably going to lose that.
Yeah.
But you get to play for a while, and
It's parenting in Vegas are very similar. You're just running out clock until you leave or until they go to bed. It's the exact same thing. Like, you go to Vegas. I was at the blackjack tables when I went for U2 in September. My best run there was 15 minutes. I was like, I'm done.
the game where I find the money disappears the fastest is craps for me.
There's no question.
It's like, how did that happen so quickly? And every once in a while, you get on an amazing run, which is why craps could be fun.
What's that last? 6 minutes?
But when it does, then you feel like Mark Cuban with the money just making itself at the table. It's like, I just won on that bet, and they're just pushing me money from this bet and the other bet. But when craps doesn't go good, it's like 8, 6, 5, 9, 7. How did I just lose $150 on 5 rolls of dice? That was horrible.
You know what crushed me in Vegas the last time? Is that stupid. My wife was addicted to the slots. So she would disappear, and she's playing slots. And I would sit at the bar, and I would play video poker. Put $100 in video poker. Jacks are better. Out. Next, bet max. You're done. Bro,
I was giving my
it.
wife $100 bills like an iPad to a baby. It just, here you go play your slots.
Yeah, go
And
play
she was
slots.
gone for an hour.
They play nickel slots,
Yeah,
and they sit for an
all day.
hour. It's not enough juice for me. I can't. Hey, I just hit the jackpot. What'd you win? $7. It's not enough juice for me. I can't do it, man. Hannah was the same way. So I don't know, man. It is. I'll have fun. I'm jealous. I know that you're excited to play golf and sorry and all those other things, but I want you to let your hair down. Okay. I want you to get some new clothes. Will you get some new gear? Some going out gear?
No.
You need to let me get he needs to let me get my hands in the dough over there. That's what he needs to do. That's what you need. You need to let me get my hands in there a little bit.
It's like crazy, stupid love. You're Ryan Gosling.
Yes,
you need to
and
get him.
he's
Are you Steve Jobs?
Yeah.
You have no business wearing
khakis and New Balance.
In those movies, the 40-year-old virgin and types, the person usually wants to change their life a little bit.
Yeah.
I'm more than happy with mine. I
You
don't need to change.
You like
I like my life.
how you've set up your life. Yeah. Are you going to wear your 97.3 The Fan polo out one night? That would be a good bit.
Could wear it to play.
Bro, that would be a really funny.
And wear it out.
Yes, you could golf and play poker in it, and you feel like you're looking sharp.
Sponsor.
Adam would love it.
Those pro poker players are wearing sponsors all over
Hey,
the
what do
place.
you got? What's 97.3? What is that? Oh, that's my radio station. That's
Is
fantastic.
that a free shirt? Yeah, actually.
Yeah, free.
It's the free sweatshirt that I'm wearing today from 10 News. The more free gear you give me, the more free airtime you have on our YouTube stream. Just keep that in mind to all the potential
Clothing suppliers.
clothing suppliers out there.
That's a plugola, I think, a little bit, but It's fine.
Well, I have to wear clothes.
It's true.
I mean, I'd get in a lot of trouble if I didn't wear any clothes.
Yeah, Ben, who are you wearing today? I'm wearing ABC 10 News. My little hacksaw over there, just wearing all the station freebies that he can find. All right, we will be right back. Ben will set up the menu. It's a Victory Tuesday today, which is incredible, and we need to talk about all that went on last night in the game. And wild to see our Padres get lucky. It just is. That's where I'm coming from today. Very wild to see them continue to get breaks this year.
Are they getting lucky?
Making their own luck.
Or they're making their own luck. We'll
Little bit
talk
of both.
about it coming up. Set the menu, as Woodsy said, and then we are off and running here on a Tuesday. Let's check traffic with Kelly on San Diego's #1 sports station, 97.3 The Fan. Well, they did it. I said the Padres still hadn't won games on consecutive days this season. Leave it to the Padres to make it on maybe the toughest consecutive days they faced so far this year, having to play in Los Angeles on Sunday night and Milwaukee in the next, late afternoon, evening, and figure it out. Coming up on the program today, we will have our Padres wrap up and discuss last night's 7-3 win over the Milwaukee Brewers, kind of the good and the bad. I tweeted this out. Some people thought I was being too negative last night.
Wow.
But I said, I love the I love the ability of the Padres to fight back. I don't love how often they're having to do it.
I agree. You do feel like that's something.
I love that.
You do feel like that's something.
It's not sustainable.
That can't last. Yeah.
Last year was weird in their complete inability to ever come back from any deficit whatsoever.
Like 1-0 in the first, and guys are kicking the dirt.
Well, that's it.
That's it for us. You could watch a Padres game last year. They would go down 2-0 in the second, and you, honest to God, could go, I need to save my mental health. I'm turning this off because it's just going to frustrate me. Now, you get down 3 early, I had a little piece about it last night. Now I was a little concerned, and we'll talk about, break down the game here in a minute, Ben. But things are going their way. They're living right. That's what they say in baseball. Like Jackson Merrill, I don't know what he's doing, but he's living right because everything's seeming to find a hole, tick off of a glove, something. And he's living right. So you ride that wave as long as you can, but you also know you can't consistently climb out of holes.
I will
Not
say
at that league.
that if I could have scripted this season, I would love to see early on them come back and win some of these games just like this, just to erase the bad taste and memory of 2023.
Yeah.
It mentally feels like it's doing them a world of good. But again, not sustainable to keep falling behind by 3 runs. This is the third time they've come back from 3 runs in the last week.
Yeah.
And great.
Awesome.
That's 3 stolen victories right there. But if you find yourself falling behind by 3 to 4 times a week, most of the time you're going to end up with a losing week.
There's
on
no
those
doubt.
weeks. And you can't sustain that over the course of the season. So they have to get off to better starts in these games eventually at some point if they want to get to where they want to go at the end of the year.
Yeah, no question about it. And I want to talk about Joe Musgrove in the next segment. I want to talk about Jackson Merrill and a kind of flippant comment you made before the season started
Hi, this is Jackson Merrill.
that I chided you for. The Rookie of the Year. I mean, the dude's leading right now. He is your leading candidate for Rookie of the Year, I think, in the NL, right? And I was like, bro, come on, don't put that on him. Now I'm looking at it going, if he keeps it up like this, I mean, he's not going to keep it up like this, but if he did, it's a runaway.
If he keeps it up like this, he'll be the MVP.
100%.
Saw one of his competitors last night as well, who shares his name, who hit his 3rd home run of the season. So we'll talk about that in our Padres wrap-up coming up. Not all great news. There is an injury to go over from the Padres game. I missed it, actually.
I did, too.
At the end of the game, but we'll get you updated on the injury situation. Padres signed a veteran bat. Not reporting to the team immediately, but we'll talk about who could be in reserve if the Padres need him, and maybe they will need him before too long. I had one of our, Paulie, it was funny, just the other day, was playing the voicemail from John Sterling when we had him on the show long ago.
Yeah, we did our whole John Sterling segment last week.
And
then
we kind of jumped the gun, and then we found out the news yesterday that John Sterling going to be stepping out of the broadcast booth for the New York Yankees after 60 years in broadcasting, 36 years calling Yankees games. So we'll have a little John Sterling discussion coming up in our 7 o'clock hour. Take on Woods, 7:10, chance to qualify for trip to Las Vegas. Maybe we'll see each other while we're there. And then Don't Do This at 7:20 as always. And then in our 8 o'clock hour, it is Jesse Agler Tuesday. The voice of the Padres will join us. Now he's back on TV again this week. As Don Orsillo, I guess, is he doing another TBS game tonight?
Gotta be.
You can't do them every Tuesday.
Feels like he is.
That's a lot of missing in action Don. This will be the 2nd series out of, 7 that he's missed?
I like order. I like when things are orderly, like as far as my broadcast team. It's
tough that when he misses 1 game, it really means he's missing
3
because
games.
the
He missed
travel,
whole series. Yeah.
He needs a private jet
Yeah.
to get him from the Monday Padres game to a Tuesday TBS game,
Right.
back
Yeah.
to a Wednesday Padres
That should be
game.
on Turner. They should be flying him.
Yeah, I
It's
think so.
Turner Broadcast. Like, how many private jets do they own?
Right.
Let our beloved Don get one so we can keep things orderly.
Do the game on Monday. You fly out Tuesday
Don,
morning.
Don Force One. I mean, he's
Yeah.
just got to have his own dedicated plane to get
Air
him,
Force Don.
Yeah,
I
to and from his assigned duties.
I mean, listen. Yeah, I love it. I love it. I need my crews back together. Everyone's great, Scan's great. Everyone fills in nicely. But like now we have to do it incorporated with Jesse on TV.
Which is fine.
It's just fine, but it's not the same. I want it-
Mud sometimes can have an interesting reaction.
It's true.
That makes the incorporator fun on television.
I want it orderly. We'll go live to the Fister today too, Ben. You didn't mention that.
That's
We're
right.
gonna be
Yeah,
live.
absolutely.
Yeah, we're gonna be live at the Fister at 8:35.
Jesse could be out and about on the mean streets of Milwaukee,
If you had
skipping around like Laverne and Shirley.
if you had a chance to either walk the streets of Milwaukee or just be at the Fister, I think you take the Fister every time.
Oh, yeah.
I
Every
heard
time.
I heard Tony Gwynn Jr. talking about it yesterday with Chris and Scraby.
Yeah.
They got in at about 4:30 a.m. to the hotel. Some guys just went right up to their rooms.
Late night arrival.
Some guys
the
waited for
Fister.
their bags. Tony likes to wait for his bag. Usually takes an extra 15, 20 minutes before he can
Hold
get
on.
up there.
What do you mean? He likes to wait for his.
Well, okay, so when the team bus gets in from the airport late, the guys get off right away, and they're just handed like hotel
Folios.
keys.
Yeah.
Just you don't have to wait in line at check-in. They
Here's
just
your
got it ready.
breakfast card.
You got
for
ready
tomorrow.
to go. Here, Joe, you're in room whatever,
Yeah.
and they just hand them.
Welcome to the Fister.
But the bags, by the time they unload,
Fister? Yeah, absolutely.
takes another 10, 15 minutes to get all the bags in. So some guys, Tony said, will just go up and crash, and I'll get my bag in the morning. I just want to get
really?
to sleep.
I couldn't do that.
But Tony said, I can't do that.
I can't either.
I need my stuff. So
I mean, I
he
would
said,
at least, I could go up to my room, but I would put the lock inside of the door to like leave the door
And just
propped
say, "Come
open,
on in."
be like, just drop the bag off there.
put a $5 on top of it and say, "Thank you."
Because I would need my bag in the morning.
yeah. Tony said he needs his bag.
So
So
you just walk downstairs in the same clothes you arrived in.
Right.
Apparently.
And also, like, you don't brush your teeth when you
Right.
get in?
I don't know. Maybe they have
need
like a
anything?
pocket like toothbrush
Yes.
set or something
A
that they.
pocket toothbrush. Maybe the guy from Gremlins who invented that thing, it squirts out shaving. Maybe they all carry that. I'll do a quick shave.
Some
Oh,
good hotels provide them for you.
how
in the
about
room.
Padre Swiss Army knives? Where they just
So anyway, late night.
Lisa says they probably have a carry-on.
Yeah, a
Said,
little carry-on.
like he told us, he's never stayed in the haunted wing of the Fister, but he said he lived in the Fister for like
Fister?
2
Yeah,
years
absolutely.
because that's
Imagine
the
living
hotel.
in
Like
the
when
Fister.
you're a rookie and you don't have a place in
Yeah.
Milwaukee, but you're on the Brewers, that's where they put you
Oh,
up.
God.
Oh,
So
my
he said,
God.
I spent the better part of 2 years living at the Fister.
Is it right there by the ballpark?
I think it's pretty close.
That's
yeah.
amazing. That is incredible. I could listen to those stories all day long. That's what I'm interested in, the minutia of traveling and what it's like to be, a big leaguer, a big league broadcaster. What was the plane like? I'm going to ask Jesse. Now, he was on the team plane from L.A. after that huge series win to the Fister in Milwaukee, right?
As he always is.
As he always is.
Yeah.
So I want to ask him, well, how was the vibe? Like, that's what I want to know.
I think I'm with you on like the travel,
Yes.
the MLB
Riveting
life.
to me.
And I think about that every time I see a kid like Jackson Merrill out here
100%.
just balling out, and I go, "Hey, this has got to be a little bit better than busting it around Indiana."
There's no question. There's just
El Paso.
no. Yeah, here's your post game Papa John's. Everyone, you get one, you get 2 slices.
Staying at the Days Inn.
Yeah.
and,
Holy, I mean, like
Carpooling over in the morning, like,
think of where
oh.
guys like him, Tyler, guys, where were they a year ago? Graham Pauly,
Yeah.
is back
He's
down
back
there now,
down,
but he
but
at least
yeah.
got a taste. Got to go to Korea, stuff like that. A little bit different, probably than 12 months ago.
You can't take that for granted. You cannot. You're staying
Ever.
in the finest places. You're eating the best food. Like Bull Durham, they talk about you hit white balls for batting practice. I mean, there's a trainer there
Women that
24/7.
long legs and braids.
When you can do anything you want. So that's what I want to ask Jesse about the flight and everything else. So cool.
Final hour, we've got a Ryle report for you, and we'll look ahead to tonight's game 2 of the series against the Milwaukee Brewers. It is all coming up on our way to 10 o'clock, and Annie and Elston. Don't go anywhere. Get the highlights from last night's game. Scan and Tony with the call as Padres beat the Brewers in our Padres wrap-up. Coming up next with Ben and Woods on San Diego's #1 sports station, 97.3 The Fan. it too early to watch the standings? The answer is yes, by the way.
No, it's not. No.
As you wake up this morning, Padres are just a game out of first place in the NL West. Dodgers lost last night. The Washington Nationals. Thank you, C.J. Abrams. Part of the
Kind of a win-lose.
a win-lose
there. Yeah.
situation. It's all right. Never going to complain about someone beating the Dodgers.
No.
So here they are, 10-9. Dodgers at 11-8, not off to the start. And in the all-important run differential category, Woods, they're both at plus 10.
Okay.
Exactly the same as the Los Angeles Dodgers through 19 games of the 2024 baseball season.
Very encouraged by what I've seen from this team in the last week. Very, very encouraged, to say the least. And they're fun again right now. They're fun. And you don't know how they're going to win a game, but they find a way to win a game. Listen, I'm riding this wave of positivity because it's such a dumb game, and things could absolutely not go their way. That flip behind the back on the ground ball Manny hit could absolutely hit Adames in the glove, right? Like, there's just so many breaks they got. The Eggy Rosario ball could have landed foul. Just all these things that happen. You go, all right, like, feels like the tides are turning a little bit, but you have to wait. You got to wait. You got to wait and see. It's the momentum that you're riding right now. It's not going to last for another 140 games. Like, you hope it does, but you've just seen too much baseball to think that that's the case. But man, it was fun last night. I mean, it was really fun. I didn't get super crazy when we got down early. It's almost like I expect it now. I'm like, now that's a weird feeling. Expecting to get down and then feeling pretty confident about a comeback.
There was definitely less doom and gloom on social media.
My timeline was filled with the doom, the word.
We'll talk about there was concern about Joe, and I think that's somewhat warranted.
Sure.
Although Joe ended up being fine yesterday, and I assume will be fine as the season goes on.
Yeah, we hope. We hope so.
There was less of the. There's no chance we can come back.
Correct.
3-0.
Correct.
It's over.
Game.
It's done. Game over. You saw a lot of that last year for good reason.
Absolutely.
It was true.
They earned it. They earned every one of those.
Absolutely. They earned our lack of confidence and optimism last season. But this year,
they're turning the tide.
They definitely have earned a little more faith in the fact that they should at least come back and make this a game, if not win it. And they did it again last night. We'll talk about how it happened right after this check of traffic. Our Padres wrap up on 97.3 The Fan.
From the 97.3 The Fan Traffic Center, here's Kelly Danick.
Traffic is sponsored by Air Max, San Diego's highest-rated heating and air company. Visit them at airmax.com. Guys, that southbound side of the 15 in the North County, one big pain this morning. It's all due to several problems. Now, a police chase ended near Deer Springs Road a while ago, which had some lanes blocked. But now, reports of a crash just past Deer Springs Road. That is in the center divide. And got a motorcycle accident in the back of that. That's southbound 15, right before the 76. And that is mostly in the center divide. But it's a very slow ride for you. So give yourself plenty of extra time if you have to take that southbound 15 in the North County. The Cordell traffic cam sees a possible encampment fire westbound 54 before the 5. Some smoke visible from the right shoulder. Looking for the best in HVAC? Choose Air Max, San Diego's highest-rated heating and air company with free diagnostics on all repairs and estimates. See why over 1,300 happy customers have given Air Max 5-star Yelp reviews. See Air Max today at airmax.com. I'm Kelly Danick with Ben & Woods, San Diego's #1 sports station, 97.3 The Fan.
I love winning, man. I love winning. You hear what I'm saying? It's like better than losing.
Oh my God, I'm so stiff.
Miss any of the Padres win yesterday? Ben and Woods didn't.
What up, crew?
We've got you covered with all of the highlights.
I like it when the Padres win.
Yeah! Yeah! It's the Padres Wrap-Up, presented by Hamul Casino. With thrilling slots and tables and all the best rewards, Hamul Casino has all the fun you're looking for. Hamul Casino, fun above all else. Yeah!
Give me a do damage.
Do damage!
Willie Adames now at the plate for the Brewers. Swinging first pitch, ground ball left side, into left field, past the diving Ha-Seong Kim. Churio is going to score, and the Brewers have a 1-0 lead here in the bottom of the first. 1-0 to Jake. This is upstairs. Gets off the glove of Contreras. Wade is heading home. He's going to score on the pass ball. What a break for the Padres. Pitch upstairs. It looked like it was catchable, but Contreras just wasn't able to hold on to it. Wade scores. Bogaerts is standing at third base now. We have a tie game 3-3. The pitch. Ground ball up the middle, could get through. Backhanded nicely by the second baseman. Behind his back flip, it's not in time, and the run is going to score. Padres have a 4-3 lead on the infield single, I presume, is how they're going to rule it for Manny Machado. Little blooper heading towards left field. This one's going to fall in for a base hit. Jake Cronenworth is going to score. They're going to send Manny. He's going to score a two-run single for Jackson Merrill. And all of a sudden, the Padres have a 6-3 lead here in the fifth. Pitch, line drive into left field. This one's going to fall in for a base hit. They're going to send the runner. The Padres are now going to have a 7-3 lead as Ha-Seong Kim touches home. RBI single for Luis Campusano. 2 hits in the inning. Padres 7-3 lead over the Brewers, and the inning continues. The 2-2 pitch. Fly ball to left field. Playable. Jerickson Profar drifting back. He's waiting, camping, making the catch, and that'll do it. Robert Suarez retires Sal Frelick for the final out. The Brewers leave the bases loaded. The Padres walk away with a 7-3 lead to take game 1 of this 3-game set in Milwaukee.
Yeah, I mean, listen, got down. Give credit to Joe, man. Down early and just competed his tail off to find a way to get through 6 and better as he went. Just a pro's performance, and it was kind of vintage Joe Musgrove. What a winner. But got down and just, guys just competed. The intent, the at-bats were great. What I love about this offense is the ability to do things in a lot of different ways.
It's so close. He switched it up on us. It's fine.
I think he's doing it on purpose.
I think he
loves
is
it
too.
too. He loves things now.
I do
I like
love,
the way the game was played.
I do love the word compete. And I do love to see guys competing. And it is hard to do when you kind of know in your head, I don't have my best stuff. Joe Musgrove is the first guy that will tell you, yes, I'm concerned that my velo is down. I'm concerned that I could not land a slider or a curveball. I'm concerned that, if guys go up to the dish against me and they can automatically subtract 1 or 2 pitches, that puts me at a severe disadvantage as a pitcher. I think it's okay to be concerned about Joe Musgrove, but I also think you have to 1,000% tip your cap for getting through 6 innings last night and minimizing as well as he did, because at the end of the day, a 6-inning game against one of the hottest offenses in baseball. We read their last 10 games that they scored. It was 12, 9, 8, 7. To minimize that damage early and to get through 6 in the first game of a series after a long-ass, weird travel day. Bro, I tip my hat to Joe, and I thought that was a really gutty performance. And you take that every time. And he got picked up. His offense picked him up 1,000%. But how many times has our pitching picked up our crap offense in the past?
Well, remember, that's the second time this season that Joe has stumbled early but battled back. In his second game against the San Francisco Giants, and the Padres lost that one 8-3, but he gave up, I think, 4 early runs and then pitched 5 2/3 innings.
That helped so much throughout
and
the
while
course
the
of the
offense
season.
didn't pick him up that day, it did today.
Yep.
And he ends up going
Those
6
were
innings.
first inning runs, too, weren't
Yeah.
they?
Yep.
Yeah.
And then he bounced back and got through 5 2/3. Now, again,
Should we
you can't keep giving up runs
No.
early every single start, but the ability to, basically put it in the past and go, it's done, it's done.
I
I've given
gotta
up the
grind,
runs.
yeah.
I can't just give up now and say, all right, bullpen, come get me here in the second or third inning, because then you're
screwed.
damaging your chances to win the next couple of games as well.
You should try some of your Ben Higgins psychoanalysis on Joe and say, Joe, you're not pitching in the first inning. You're pitching in the second inning, maybe even the third inning. And he can go out there with that mentality that...
Yeah, but I mean, it was the second inning. Well, first and second inning kind of got him yesterday.
Yep.
I don't think Joe needs any psychoanalysis, though. I think Joe mentally is as strong as it gets. I do think physically there is some concern. And I don't know that necessarily he's still feeling some lingering effects of the injuries from last year, or, just getting a little bit older. But the velocity is down a tick. And as Eno Saris told us, I think last week, even a mile-per-hour difference on your average fastball can have an impact in the results. And Joe's seeing a little bit of that. The command for both he and Yu Darvish on the breaking balls, not as sharp as it can be. I assume that'll come around for both of them at some point, which is why I'm not overly concerned. But it hasn't been a terrific start of the year for Joe Musgrove. And yet still, He's 2-2, and while record doesn't mean anything for a pitcher, it means everything for the team. I mean, Joe would rather be 2-2 with a 6 ERA than 0-4 with a 3 ERA.
Yeah, 100%.
You know, and he's given the Padres a chance. They've won 3 of his 5 starts. You win a .600 winning percentage when you're on the mound those games. That's not the worst thing, and you can only expect he's going to pitch better as the year goes on. So, Joe, he got some help from his defense. Fernando Tatis Jr. with that nice throw out of Blake Perkins at third base. I have no idea what Blake Perkins or the Brewers were thinking. Now, he was running
on that kid.
He was running on the play.
And a good arm.
And the single to the right side usually means an easy first to third. However, he slid into second base. Once you've gone down and have to get back up,
restart the engines.
No way you should be running on Fernando Tatis Jr. He did make it a close play. Fernando needed a perfect throw and a really nice tag there at third base as well to get the out. But most teams have learned don't test the arm of Fernando Tatis Jr., and it did save the Padres a run because he would have been on base when Jackson Chourio hit his home run later in the inning. And he's an exciting young prospect for the Brewers as well. And his 3rd home run of the year, they brought him up. So figure some of the competition for Jackson Merrill for Rookie of the Year. The game, though, I will remember it as the bloop to left center field game.
No question.
Because it just felt like the balls not only were falling in, they were all in the same spot.
Same spot.
A little triangle between the left fielder, the center fielder, and the shortstop. And most of them were hit in the 70-mile-an-hour exit velocity range.
Is that like the 7.5 hole?
Yeah, something like that.
7.3
hole right there where they just could not get it over and over again. And I heard the discussion, and I want to get your opinion on this. The approach of the batters, and there was a lot of praise going, they're not just swinging for the fences. They're trying to put the ball into play, and they are striking out less this year. They're putting more balls into play, but you can't try to hit a blooper. A blooper is the result of usually a ball that's mishit, that you're trying to hit harder and you didn't hit hard and you put into play. Do you think the Padres are really like that's not a Brett Butler like choke up, just try to chop one contact. They're trying to hit line drives, and they just happen to get lucky on some of those plays that they mishit it, and it ended up floating into the outfield. Is that an approach thing, or is that a luck thing?
The approach of we want to cut down on our strikeouts is tangible. Like, that is the one guy that I was lauding for it early in the season was Luis Campusano, who's now, he's hit some balls hard, but he's expanding his zone a little bit, hitting it where it's pitched, not trying to open up when we are at our worst. When Manny's at his worst, when Xander's at his worst, when Croney's at his worst, is when that front foot flies way open and they just try to yak everything to their pull side. You're done. You're done. You're toast. And that's every league. Like, that's little league. Don't open up and try to pull everything. Hit it where it is. I will say this, man. When Joe Ross took the mound last night, I watched him pitch, and I said, good. And I tweeted immediately. I go, has this dude always been pumping 97 on the black? And I watched, and I went, this is such a bad matchup right now. Because, like Manny, right-hander who starts open, he's dotting the outside corner. You can't get anything on that. Like, there's nothing you can do. So they were patient, though. They waited him out.
The game was
they weren't.
Okay.
Like, it was, okay, 3 heaters, and we're off and running. But then, once they got him on the ropes, they got a little bit lucky, obviously, but they also went in for the kill, and that was something I really enjoyed seeing. I loved seeing some flares drop. A lot of flares I felt dropped against us last year. Loved just put the ball in play. Let's see what happens. Let's be a menace. And that's exactly what they were. But, man, Joe Ross, I thought Murphy left him out there to die a little bit, but he
wasn't giving up hard contact.
He wasn't giving up hard contact, and that's the tough part. Is like they weren't really barreling balls off of him. But yeah, man, I love this kind of scene of we're not going to K. There were still opportunities like Profar came up with runners on first and third. 1 out. All he needed was maybe no outs, lazy fly ball, and he flies out. Pops out to the third baseman. And I'm like, see, those are the things that continuously came back to bite us. But it didn't, and it's not right now. Like, they're finding other ways, and they're using a little bit of speed to force some throws and some weird plays. And Just a great win. Another great come-from-behind win.
Manny Machado, 2 for 5, extends his hitting streak to 9 games. He's looking pretty locked in at the plate. Jackson Merrill, 3 more hits. Second straight game. He has upped his batting average to .356.
Pretty solid.
Well, it's only through 19 games.
I love that.
It's the third highest ever average through 19 games for a 20-year-old. Behind Pudge Rodriguez and Rafael Devers are the only two who have had higher average than that through 19 games.
The other thing that we can talk about, and I think it's fair to be a little bit concerned about, is, I mean, we're singling teams to death. And singles, timely singles are fantastic. We love a timely single. But, yeah, you wonder, how you talked about being sustainable getting down, Ben. It's also not sustainable to be just a singles hitting team in the year of our Lord 2024. They're going to have to find a way. And
Padres are 4th in baseball in home runs. I mean,
yeah.
They are.
What are they in
played a couple
singles?
extra games, but
what are they in singles? Well, they've had some of those feast or famine games.
yeah. I mean, but they have power on the team. I'm not too worried about it.
Yeah, there needs to be a little bit more slug, and that's doubles as well.
All right, I've got a couple more thoughts on the game, so we'll roll that into our 7 o'clock hour here. Play some Take on Woods as well. Do not go away. More Ben and Woods. That was a quick hour on San Diego's #1 sports station, 97.3 The Fan.
So our beloved Jake
Cronenworth. Jacob
has pulled his calf, potentially. Did anybody see when this happened or what happened?
I know they took him out in the 9th inning defensively.
And I thought it was just like, hey, we got a lead. Like, let's get Sully in there. Let's like the old adult league move of like, hey, get in there and get an inning.
That's not
Wave
how
your
that's not
parents.
how they do it in
I
the big
know.
leagues.
Yeah,
No.
wave to your parents. Yeah.
Kevin Acey's daily newsletter says Cronenworth left last night's game in the 9th inning after feeling tightness in his calf while trying to beat out a grounder.
That's
in his at bat in the top of the 8th. Schilt said it's too early to tell.
Oof. I don't like that.
No updates.
I don't like that at all, to be
Too
honest
early
with you.
to tell sounds.
Here
little
you
bit
are,
doom.
blessed with the most magnificent calves of all time, literally. And now Jake Cronenworth needs...
Give him a calf.
Ben could give him a 10th of his calf, and it would still be bigger than what Croney's got.
Yeah. The problem is that my calves are extremely tight. And if the problem is a tight calf, you don't find tighter calves than the ones that I have.
Not a lot of fast twitch in
No.
there. Which is
I
what
have the
they
slowest of twitch muscles in those calves.
You might be the slowest human on the planet.
Jake.
Potentially.
If there was like a calf transplant and Jake like started to run, he'd go like, "What? What?
Oh my God!
It's just
Career
occurred.
over.
It's over.
It's over.
Instantly.
I switched calves with a radio host, and I don't get to play baseball anymore.
My back hurts.
They literally used me in the 9th inning to pinch hit, and then they pinch run for me immediately. Yeah, that's a bummer, man. And you hope it's not one of those nagging, bothers him all year. It's tough. We've really been pretty blessed this year, injury-wise, knock on wood. And, to have that guy go down is a real bummer. And defensively, look, those were interesting plays to Brett Sullivan yesterday in the 9th inning. The ball's going to – at first base, the ball's always going to come your way at some point. Somebody's going to have to throw, make a throw or whatever. A couple of interesting plays where it's like, good God, man, that's like drinking from the fire hose yesterday with the throw that he had to jump for. Then he got kneed in the back, and then Xander made that really nice play, couldn't finish the throw.
I don't know that
Maybe the grass was
I don't know
wet.
that Jake makes any of those outs either.
I don't either.
But,
I don't either.
Yeah, concern for Jake Cronenworth, absolutely. The backup situation right now at first base is a little tenuous. Padres did sign a player who's played some first base yesterday. We can talk a little bit more later about Donovan Solano on a minor league deal. But I did want to point out just quickly the bullpen once again did an outstanding job yesterday. I think that's the third time in 4 games that the bullpen has been unscored upon for the Padres. And while they did bring the tying run to the plate in the 9th inning, none of those balls left the infield. And Robert Suarez did end up getting his 6th save, but really nice job by Enyel De Los Santos and Stephen Kolek coming in. And it hasn't just been, I guess you'd say the top now setup guys are Matsui and Peralta, but they haven't been the only guys who have started to come through. De Los Santos is pitching well. Kolek has delivered more often than not. Yep. You're getting good work out of the bullpen that we kind of expected when the Padres put a lot of emphasis on those signings in the offseason. Been paying some dividends of late for the San Diego Padres. And, yeah, you never – until that last inning in the last, they got that tying run up, Brewers never even really threatened. It was not like the 7-3 lead ever felt very tenuous for the San Diego Padres, which was nice.
It was very
nice. Not a lot of drama in the last 3 innings of that game until maybe the last at-bat when Frelick came up and had a chance to tie it. I'm going – yeah, when he's throwing it so hard with that fastball, if he just happens to run into it, that would be an ugly way to have to go to extra innings after you had a 7-3 lead with 2 outs and nobody on in the 9th inning. But did not happen that way. Got the fly out, got the save, and the Padres got the victory yesterday in Milwaukee.
Yeah, and like we were talking about Campy earlier, he had been 0 for 14. Then the dude gets 2 knocks in the same inning, which was like, what an inning! Like what a cool thing off the same pitcher as well. So yeah, man, you wonder too, Benny, like what would they do? What would they do if Croney went down? Are you riding with with Sully at first? Are you Jurickson Profar has played some first? Could you put Sugar out and left? You're going to have a lefty on the bump today. Might be a good day to give Jake off. You got a lefty on the bump in Wade Miley.
Or do you add another $1 million to whatever your last offer to Brandon Belt was?
Yeah, but he can't play today, right? Like, that's the thing, is we could get Brandon Belt, but he's not flying in from Arizona and like, where's my gear?
I'm talking if Crony's out for
if Crony's out
2 weeks.
extended period of time, yeah. Or
I've
Donovan Solano.
got an outside the box possibility. First, let me throw out the numbers for Take on
Maybe
Woods.
Fernando, we just move him.
No,
Move him again,
no,
yeah.
but it's crazy. 833-288-0973. 833-288-0973. Want to play our musical trivia challenge? Chance to qualify for Las Vegas here in about 3 minutes. Call now, get online, and we need a contestant here for Take on Woods. You do have a guy who can do everything in the field except throw the ball right now.
Oh, boy.
And he's got really good hands.
This is Manny Machado.
I'd imagine that he'd be able, at least for a few days, to fill in ably at first base if they asked him to.
I would like to
without
see
having to make any strenuous throws over there.
There's plenty of strenuous throws. Plenty.
From first base?
Yes, plenty.
There's not that many.
There's plenty.
There's enough where
it's incredibly
it could
hard.
set him back.
I'm not
It's
saying
not
it's
that hard.
not.
It's incredibly
I'm not
hard.
saying it's not a hard position.
Bro, you got the cut from right field on a play at the plate that you have.
Still, that's a 90-foot throw, not all the way across the
Not
diamond.
necessarily. What if it's in if it rattles down the corner, you got to be out there as the
He's
first
on the
baseman.
grass
He's on the
line.
grass. That's a long throw. You got
throwing as hard as he can.
You got a chopper to first base with a runner on first. You got a spin, throw to second. I mean, it's so effing hard. You don't hide injured guys at first. You really don't hide anybody at the big league level. Do I eventually think he'll be our first baseman? Yes, absolutely. It's the natural progression for that man. And I think he'll be a damn good one. But I don't think you do it today. Especially if he's
there's
not
a lot of first basemen in baseball that really can't throw the ball well.
Yeah,
it's actually rare.
But they're not hurt.
But they're not hurt.
They're not coming off surgery.
I don't want him.
But he is throwing the ball.
He is.
And before the games, he's throwing the ball.
He is. And if he could play third,
I
he'd be
just
playing
get the
third.
sense they don't want him to have to throw it over like 10 times on grounders from third, and that's why he's not playing out there. If he had to throw it once or twice from first base, my guess is that would be okay at this point. If he's throwing, and he is throwing.
Ben, this is not fantasy baseball. You can't just say, hey, I know you're not cleared to play third, but go play first. Like, I mean, could he do it? Yes, he could do it.
Even a guy with the glove that Manny Machado has, too. You don't just ask guys to play out of position, completely new spot at the big league level just on a whim.
So Jeff said Harper did it last year. Yeah, but they told him, you're our first baseman now. Like, it's a different thing. Instead of, hey, Croney pulled his calf. Can you grab his first baseman's mitt and run on out there? It's just different.
Has Sullivan ever played first base? They just threw him out there.
I mean, that's what we're riding with, I think. What I would do with a lefty on the bump today is a good day to give Croney off. He was scuffling a little bit, rolling over a little bit right now. Give him the day off. Let him try to get that calf ready. Put Profar over at first, and then put Sugar out and left, and let the chips fall where they may.
833-288-0973. Calling for Take on Woods. One other thought on Jake. You mentioned his defense. It's been outstanding so far this year, and it's been pointed out that Jake has a different strategy. He is trying to play as far off the bag as humanly possible. I mean, he's not even in the vicinity of first base against right-handed hitters anymore.
There's been a couple times, too, a sharp grounder to Xander, and Xander's double clutching.
Yeah, he's going to wait because, I mean, and Jake's got the speed and the athleticism that he can get over there in plenty of time and turn around. But it is a timing issue where, he's got 1, 2, 3. He's got to get over there and make that turnaround and find the ball, find where it's coming. And he's done such a good job, but he has saved it. Like that line drive that he caught.
That's an easy hit.
You don't get that unless you're that far off the base.
You should see how close to the bag I play at first base. You would surprise you because I can't get over there. I can't get over there in time. I love Manny. I don't think that's the solution today for a game or two, but we'll obviously update you guys when we hear more about the injury situation. But for Croney, but Today's a good day to give him off. You got some bench. Use that bench. Get Eggy in there for sure, 100%. Lefty on the mound. He is Manny Ramirez when there's a lefty on the mound. Like, put him in the 3-hole for all I care today. Nobody hits lefties.
Yeah,
better
Mike
than
Trout's
that
aggressive. He'll put Eggy in there, but the second they go to a right-hander out of the bullpen, here comes Tyler Wade.
Yep.
Might be the 4th inning. It's like, okay, that's it for Eggy today. We're moving on to someone else. So,
100%.
All right, we'll continue the Padres talk and the discussion of the Donovan Solano signing coming up later this hour. Right now, though, let's play a little Take on Woods. All right, Take on Woods is brought to you by, keep calling, 833-288-0973. Take on Woods is brought to you by Valvoline Instant Oil Change. It only takes 15 minutes. You don't have to get out of your car. For directions and discounts, go to SoCalOilChange.com. That's SoCalOilChange.com. Trying to get a new contestant in here today.
We had
we
had two,
I don't
and
know.
they just dropped off.
Phone lines are having some issues. But call again here, 833-288-0973. If you were trying earlier, we'll see if we can just put you right on hold, get you through. 833-288-0973. We are playing for the trip to Las Vegas, grand prize drawing, end of the month. It's a 2-night stay at the Westgate Las Vegas Resort and Casino and 2 tickets to Kool and the Gang, backed by popular demand after multiple sold-out shows. The legendary funk group Kool and the Gang returns to the stage at the Westgate Las Vegas Resort and Casino with their residency through 2024. Get your tickets now at Ticketmaster.com. The Westgate Las Vegas Resort and Casino features newly designed premier rooms, part of their $70 million room renovations, home of legendary Vegas fun. All right, now I see some calls on the line. Paulie, what line should we go to? Let's try. Look at all those lines now. All those first timers. Let's go with
4 or 5.
Let's go with line 4. Caller, who's this?
Hey.
Hey, who's this?
Hey, this is Joey.
Joey,
What's up,
you here to
Joey?
play Take on Woods?
Yeah, let's play,
All right,
man.
you're in today. Joey's our contestant. Thank you for calling in. Everybody else, thank you also for calling in. Try again tomorrow. Call earlier. You'll get on the line a little bit easier. Here are your category choices. We've got royal titles, 5-song titles or artists that include a British royal title in the name. Going up, 5-song titles that begin with up. And our new category, Let's Go Padres. 5 musical answers, all with a synonym for dad. Let's go Padres, somewhere in the answer. So royal titles, going up, or let's go Padres. Joey?
Let's go Padres.
Let's go Padres. All right, I've got to thank our my long ago former intern when I was in radio and TV producer, Doug Downing, helped me come up with this category.
I love Doug Downing.
Doug's a great guy, Doug and Brienne, and Doug sent me a few Take on Wood suggestions, so I adapted this one. It's called Let's Go Padres, and it's 5 musical answers that all include a synonym for dad somewhere in the answer. So, Joey, you go first, then Woods goes. If you beat her time, we'll put you into the drawing for Las Vegas. You know how it works, right?
Sounds good. Yes, I do,
All
sir.
right.
Thank you.
60 seconds on the clock. First category. First questions are 2-second songs. You need to give me the title and the artist, as Paulie calls that one up to score that point. Pass if you don't know an answer. We'll come back to it if there's time left on the clock. Paul, you good?
I'm ready.
All right. He's ready. Joey's ready. 60 seconds on the clock. The category, Let's Go Padres. Your time begins when Paul plays the music. Good luck, Joey. Let's take on Woods.
Pass.
Which 1986 Madonna song from her True Blue album sparked controversy for its lyrics dealing with the topic of teenage pregnancy?
Pass.
What is the title of the autobiographical 1997 song by Everclear that's about lead singer Art Alexakis being abandoned by his dad as a child?
Father of Mine.
Correct. Knows for songs including You and Me and Bottle Makes 3 Tonight, which swing revival band performed at halftime of the 1999 Super Bowl?
Oh, pass.
Which very cool-sounding 1972 hit for The Temptations features a nearly 4-minute extended musical introduction, including Maurice Davis on trumpet?
Oh, this is brutal. Pass.
Let's go back to our 2-second song. Remember the category. Time is up. I did a terrible job reading some of those questions.
Yeah,
you
you
did
okay
got
over there?
you got the one. You got Father of Mine by Everclear. So that was Father Figure by George Michael. Papa Don't Preach is the Madonna song about teenage pregnancy. Big Bad Voodoo Daddy performed at the Super Bowl. You and Me and Bottle Makes 3 tonight. And Papa Was a Rolling Stone is the Temptations song. So just one there, Joey. I don't know if that's going to be enough. Tough category again today.
7 minutes?
Well, it took Ben.
We had the phones had an issue, so we had to call for some extra callers.
All right.
I've been stumbling around a little
Ben
bit.
could not.
He's in Vegas.
He couldn't say one
Already?
question.
He's in Vegas already. When do you leave next
not
Wednesday?
For another week and day.
Oh, man, it's your first vacation of the year, though.
It is.
So you're starting early.
It is.
I get it.
All right, 60 seconds on the clock. Your time begins when Paul plays the music. Good luck, Woods. Let's take on Joey.
Ooh, that's Father Figure by George Michael.
Correct. Which 1986 Madonna song from her True Blue album sparked controversy for its lyrics dealing with the topic of teenage pregnancy?
That is Papa Don't Preach.
Correct. What's the title of the autobiographical 1997 song by Everclear that's about lead singer Art Alexakis being abandoned by his...
Father of Mine.
Correct. Known for songs including You and Me and Bottle Makes 3 tonight, which swing revival band performed at halftime of the 1999 Super Bowl.
Big Bad Voodoo Daddy.
Correct. Which very cool-sounding 1972 hit for the Temptations features a nearly 4-minute extended musical...
Papa Was a Rolling Stone.
5 out of 5. I thought that was a tough category, but
Joey
you
just hung up already.
you blew that one out of the water.
Papa Was a Rolling Stone is one of my favorite songs.
Really?
Boom, boom, boom,
Boom, boom. Yeah.
It's
That's 4 minutes
unreal.
of music
Dude,
before anything there.
it
That
is
category was
so
called Let's
good.
Go Padres, by the way.
Oh, it's the dads. I
And
like
Doug
that.
Downing, you know Doug was...
Let's go, Padres.
He submitted some of the questions.
Oh,
for
Doug
that
did?
one. Yeah.
Oh, thank you,
Want
Doug.
to thank him for that. And Joey, thank you for calling in and playing, but you had no chance against Woods today.
Yeah, Paulie, how do you feel when you hear Father of Mine?
It's my theme song.
You same, right? Like when you just like,
Tell me,
oh.
where have you been?
Bono. How's that go?
Yeah, play Papa Was a Rolling
give me
Stone
Papa Was a Rolling
as we go
Stone.
to our break here.
Song rules.
We've got Don't Do This coming up next. I have an update on... There's not just one gambling scandal, of course, in sports right now. There's also one in the NBA.
Yeah.
And some details are coming out.
More
that are
details?
pretty gnarly. Breaking this morning on that one, so we'll give you an update during Don't Do This coming up next.
Wow.
Didn't you have something you wanted to do for Do This?
Yeah, I'm going to do the a nice debut for a rookie pitcher last night against a very good team.
It's all coming up next with Ben and Woods after a check of traffic on 97.3 The Fan. All right, it's time for Don't Do This. A couple of stories that make you shake your head, and a little do this as well. But Woods, you wanted to start with our good friend, Miami Marlins manager, Skip Schumacher.
Oh, no, I'm starting with our old friend, Bob Melvin.
Okay.
Who, I think the Don't Do This goes to Bob Melvin last night,
Or the
right?
umpires.
Or the
possibly.
umpires, yeah.
It was a weird situation in Miami when Bob Melvin came out of the dugout to change pitchers.
Yes.
In the 8th inning. And they called for, he wanted Camilo Doval to come out of the bullpen.
Allegedly.
But then Taylor Rogers is the one who actually
ran
came out
onto the field.
And when he started, he got like halfway there, and Bob realized that's not who I wanted.
It's the wrong guy.
So the umpires let the change happen, and Taylor went back, and Camilo Doval came out and pitched. What Skip was mad about, though, was that even if you're allowed to, make that change, he said, we're very strict on the pitch clock rules. Once the bullpen reliever hits the warning track, the clock starts. And if you're not ready by the time that clock hits 0, that's a ball. At the very least, for this mistake that the Giants made, the wrong guy coming out, they should be charged a ball. And the umpires didn't even charge them a pitch clock violation. They just let them freely, willy-nilly, just have their pitchers run out around in circles and finally come into the game.
Because the rule before the pitch clock was if he touches the rubber, he needs to pitch.
You have to throw a pitch.
And Laz Diaz, who's the umpire,
3 batters.
said if a manager immediately indicates a mistake was made in calling the wrong pitcher, he can change pitchers without penalty. And now Skip came in, he argued, then he came back out and argued again and finally got tossed from the game.
Doval was really slow to come out of the bullpen, and I don't know that he was ready. And so he was in there kind of milking it. And that's, I think, what Skip, I would never give Skip a don't do.
I feel like Skip is also a little frustrated with the Marlins blew the lead in that game, and the Giants came back to win. They're now 3-14 on the season.
Dude. Such a tough.
They also, just in the sub-note, sent down one of their most effective pitchers yesterday in Max Meyer to make room for Edward Cabrera on the roster. Some people are saying, they're just going cheap and roster manipulation and, impacting his service time. Kid has pitched really well for them so far. He's had 2 6-inning starts this year, really, really good.
Well,
but they send him back down to the minors.
This guy, Bendix, that replaced Kim Ng.
Peter Bendix,
yeah, he is. I follow a lot of Marlins accounts because I love Skip. And you've never seen vitriol. You've never seen vitriol like the Marlins fan base has for Peter Bendix.
I mean, you can be mad at him, but the directive is coming from somewhere. The fact that he only spent, $5 million on Tim Anderson in the offseason. Yeah. No GM comes in and I'm getting this job. Here's what I want to do.
I want to spend $5 million.
I want to do nothing to this team. I am very excited. There's got to be some sort of directive.
For sure.
We're not spending this year. This is just the way it goes.
This is how we're doing it.
And it eventually trickles down to the manager who's got to wear it on a daily basis. That's a tough job now, for the reigning manager of the year.
So
they've put him in a really bad position this year. It's not really fair for him.
Nope.
It's not fair for the fans. Sometimes it's the reality of baseball. You got to reset, but that's too bad what's going on early in the season in Miami. All right, this was an update this morning from the Action Sports Network on the other gambling scandal in sports, non-Ippei Mizuhara Shohei Ohtani related. Toronto Raptors center Jonte Porter, who's already been suspended, I believe, by the NBA. The details are now coming out of his gambling issues. According to the sources in this report from the Action Network, Jonte Porter opened a VIP account at FanDuel in Colorado and wagered millions of dollars from 2021 to 2023.
Oh, he's done.
Now, FanDuel, it says they did not accept any wagers on the NBA or college basketball from Porter. His brother, by the way, Michael Porter, huge member of the Denver Nuggets as well. But what really was the problem here, of course, is that the NBA started investigating irregular betting activity on Jonte Porter's prop bets. When he started, people were betting heavily on unders for Jonte Porter's performance, and he would come through with, a minute, and then he'd get hurt and come out of the game. Take himself out of the game. That raised some huge red flags. Like, even if he's not betting,
he's got to go.
It does seem as though maybe some gamblers got their hooks in him.
He's got to go, dude. You got to go if you're Adam Silver. He's got to go.
He's on leave from the Raptors. They're investigating. It would not shock me if it ended up that he got banned from basketball for life.
No question.
I know Adam Silver has said that is
he said, I have
certainly
that
a
power.
possibility. He has the power to do that. But as these details come out, and if these are true, it's certainly trending that direction. Maybe even a bigger scandal than the Shohei. I know Shohei got a lot more attention, but if it was simply a translator stealing money from him and gambling, it's actually not as big of a deal as this is
massive,
in the NBA.
Massive. All right, let's give some props to a rookie here.
DD Mega Doo-Doo.
Probably never heard the name Mitchell Parker. I had not either. And it's one of those games. The Nationals.
Mitchell Friedman?
Mitchell Parker.
Yeah, it's a major league reference.
All right. Thank you. California Penal. Mitchell Parker won his major league debut. One of those games, if you're the Nationals, you go, oh, cool. We got the Dodgers tonight on Jackie Robinson Day. And Tyler Glasnow's on the bump against us. Hey, Rook, take this rock, go out there, give us everything you got. This SOB goes out there in his major league debut, strikes out Mookie Betts to start the game, man, and ends up getting the win. Gets the win in his major league debut, allowed 2 runs, 4 hits, and 5 innings walked. None.
Doesn't know enough to be intimidated.
100%. Struck out 4. And, he in the third, he retired Betts, struck out Shohei, and then got Freddie Freeman to ground out in order in the third inning. Like, if this kid never pitches in the big leagues again, that is such an amazing, remarkable day for him in the big leagues. That's incredible. Just cut through that Dodgers order like, all right, no problem. Got himself the win. They were able to get to Tyler Glasnow. And, of course, Dave Roberts said after the game, Tyler wasn't feeling well. So
what's that, 5 of 7 losses now for the Dodgers?
Los Angeles manager Dave Roberts says Glasnow wasn't feeling well. I feel like a sick Tyler Glasnow, even if he had diarrhea, should be able to carve up the Washington Nationals. That's just me, though. I guess I just have higher expectations. That's how I roll. That's don't and do this on a Tuesday.
That was Don't Do This with Ben and Woods on 97.3 The Fan.
At the end. All right, we'll come back. Padres made a signing yesterday, maybe a timely signing, to a minor league contract. We'll discuss the move and perhaps the reason it happened yesterday with Ben and Woods on San Diego's #1 sports station, 97.3 The Fan. Now, Woods, you grew up as a Yankees fan. You know who Donnie Ballgame is, obviously.
No, Ben. I don't know who Don Mattingly is.
But had you ever heard of Donnie Barrels?
Donnie Barrels.
I had never heard of
Donovan Solano.
I had never heard of Donnie Barrels. I mean, I'd heard of Donovan Solano, but I didn't know his nickname was Donnie Barrels until yesterday. But he is the newest member of the San Diego Padres organization. And maybe an important under-the-radar signing. I want to talk about the move that the Padres made. Get to that after a check of traffic here on 97.3 The Fan.
From the 97.3 The Fan Traffic Center, here's Kelly Danick.
Traffic is sponsored by Valvoline Instant Drive-Thru Oil Change, your 15-minute instant drive-thru oil change. Well, South 15's woes continue in the North County, guys. This all started with this police chase that ended overnight near Deer Springs Road. They've got the two right lanes still blocked, all due to investigation of that. And in the backup of that, got this motorcycle accident near the 76. That is over to the right shoulder. This whole mess has got you backed up from Rainbow Valley down toward Center City Parkway. Now collision on westbound 78. Just before the 15, those vehicles are over to the right shoulder. Northbound 15 clearing an accident from the Balboa Avenue off-ramp. Valvoline Instant Oil Change is your drive-through oil change. It only takes 15 minutes and you don't have to get out of your car. With all the rain lately, Valvoline is also offering replacement wiper blades. For directions and discounts, go to SoCalOilChange.com, SoCalOilChange.com. I'm Kelly Danick with Ben and Woods, San Diego's #1 sports station, 97.3 The Fan.
In any of our many discussions over the last, I'd say 3 months, about one more bat that the Padres need to sign for their offense, was the name Donovan Solano ever brought up on this program? And I will answer the question for you. No, it was not.
Oh, I talked about him all the time. You just weren't paying attention.
Was the name Donovan Solano even included on lists of, like ESPN, like available free agents? I don't remember seeing Donovan Solano's name brought up. But when the Padres signed him yesterday to a minor league deal, and then I looked at his numbers, I go, man, a pretty good season last year for the Minnesota Twins. Hit .282. Had a expected OBA over 350. I mean, solid offensive production from a 35-year-old at the time, now 36-year-old, who the Padres signed to a minor league deal yesterday. Hits both sides of the plate pretty well. Hits against lefties and righties decently. I remember him from the Giants a few years ago. Then he went to the Reds and then the Twins last year.
I feel like he torched us with the Giants.
I do too,
I do
probably.
Feel like that. I don't know what the numbers are.
But a guy who wasn't on my radar at all. Yet I would not be surprised if we did see Donovan Solano coming up to the big leagues sooner rather than later.
Did I see him getting ABs in Arizona yesterday?
He was supposed to report to Arizona. I did not see any video, but that was the kind of extended spring training first stop for Donovan Solano. And the timing of the deal, I don't think is a coincidence because it came on the same day that Tommy Pham officially agreed to a $3 million deal with the Chicago White Sox, plus another $1.5 million in possible incentives. And Bob Nightingale did report that the Padres were in on the bidding.
He rakes against the Padres.
For Tommy Pham.
Does he?
Donovan Solano does?
108 career at-bats. He's hitting 347. 875 OPS.
Okay.
So it is my assumption that the second that A.J. Preller learned, okay, Tommy Pham's not going to take our best final offer, he may have pivoted to Donovan Solano. Now, not the same position, but same age, same, bat coming potentially as a DH, a veteran, adding some offense there for the San Diego Padres. And
what's his primary position? Third? Is he
first and third, I believe.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, you're going to need...
But you need a DH.
You need a DH at this point. And for when Manny gets back now, the only thing that makes me nervous is, does this signal Manny may be out longer than expected? I don't know. I don't know the answer to that question. I know he's throwing, and Ben wants to start him at first base tonight, which I thought was very weird, but stranger things have happened. But Donovan Solano, when ready, Ben, I think he's going to be a nice piece. And that's the other thing, too. If everybody's healthy, if Jake comes back healthy and Manny comes back 100% healthy playing third base, Donovan Solano as your DH or coming off the bench even is a much better option than what we have right now, I think.
So in his career, 820 games, he's played 444 at second, so a little over half. He's played 111 at first base, 68 games at third, 42 at short, and 10 in left field.
Okay. So versatile, I
First
guess.
base.
He's a utility guy.
Utility guy.
But
that hits well.
A solid offensive performer. Now, are we at all surprised by the trend in Major League Baseball, this offseason in particular? Older guys, pitchers and hitters, they are no longer finding the money there for the contracts that they were looking for. Tommy Pham was reportedly looking for $8 to $10 million or more this offseason. He ended up settling for $3 million plus some incentives with a dead last place team that is going nowhere. I mean, you've got to think Tommy's hoping he gets traded at some point. And in fact, they put in his contract that he gets a $500,000 bonus if he gets traded. So they were clearly thinking that he may start the season with the White Sox here, but he's not going to end the season with the Chicago White Sox if things go the way Tommy Pham is hoping that they go.
I had to laugh at Bob Nightingale's tweet, as I normally do at Bob Nightingale's tweets. It's the way that he phrased it. Well, Padres got outbid, for Tommy Pham. No, I think the Padres had a number they didn't want to go over, and they said, all right, go enjoy Chicago. Right?
Well, technically, that's getting outbid. But.
Technically, yes. Tommy, we're going to give you this. You interested in playing on a team with some upside and that you're familiar with, or do you want to go play for the White Sox? And, again, I don't look at this and go, oh, man, we are really broke. I go, there was a number you didn't want to go over for Tommy Pham, and he didn't want to take it, and that's his prerogative. But, now he's going to go play in Chicago. He's got the $3 million deal, $1.5 million in incentives. And like you mentioned, if he gets traded, $500,000 coming his way. And he most certainly will if he has a good season for them.
Call it whatever you want. A.J. Preller has learned a little bit about financial discipline.
Yeah, that
this
too.
offseason.
Yeah.
In the past, you get the sense that, an extra $1 million wasn't going to be the make or break between signing. If he wanted Tommy Pham, he would have signed Tommy Pham.
Yeah,
and
for
if
sure.
he needed to get to $4 million to do it, then they just would have gotten to $4 million to do it. But this offseason has been very different. And AJ has stuck to his okay, our evaluation is we can offer you 2.5, whatever it was, and that's all we're going to offer you. Now it's up to you. You want to take our offer? You want to go somewhere else? Make that decision yourself.
Someone in the thread there said this is worse than being unemployed. Playing for the Chicago White Sox right now. I mean, it is the toughest scene.
$3 million punishment.
$3 million punishment. Punish me by giving me $3 million. Sure. But again, I think his motivation is he's going to go in there and try to hit balls hard and get traded to a contender at the deadline and collect an extra $500K in the process.
Back to Solano real quick. I'm throwing it up on our YouTube stream. You weren't crazy, Woods. He was in Arizona yesterday, apparently. Our buddy Josh sent this over. Jerry Espinoza.
Yeah, Jerry's great.
Does photography out in Arizona, and he said he posted that video yesterday of Solano getting some work.
Good. Okay, so he's ready to go. Let's get him in the lineup ASAP.
Is it... is it fair to be disappointed? The Padres could have matched that offer that the White Sox and stayed under the luxury tax number, at least for now. They'd have less flexibility as the season goes on, but they could have gotten Tommy Pham. Or is it possible that Donovan Solano is just as good of an option, maybe even better?
Yeah, I'm beyond at this point getting super disappointed about filler guys, and that's what they are at this point. Nothing personal against them, but if teams thought that Brandon Belt could help them, I think they would have signed him. Same with Tommy Pham. They're waiting. Everyone's kind of waiting it out, and it sucks, man. It sucks for these guys that are 34 to 36 years old. You don't want to be out of baseball. You feel like you got a few good years left in you, and you can help a team. But I'm beyond, Ben, getting super butthurt that we didn't get a $3 million player. Yeah, I'll be, we don't get Roki Sasaki next year. That's when I'm in a deep depression. But, the fact that we missed out on Adam Duvall, who's, he's hitting 250 right now. He's got .3 WAR. The fact that we missed out on Tommy Pham it's not going to bother me that much. I like kind of what we have. We do need reinforcements, though. And I think this is one of them.
I'll tell you what, I have less regrets about this than I do on the pitching side. And yesterday, there were three pitchers in particular who all were at least discussed by the San Diego Padres in the offseason. Don't know if they ever really thought about Sonny Gray, but it was a name we heard about. He had his second start with the Cardinals. He has yet to give up an earned run. Now, it was against the A's yesterday, but they did get the 3-1 win. Michael Lorenzen was a name that we talked about quite a bit as a potential option for the Padres rotation. He made his debut for the Texas Rangers through 5 shutout innings and got the win against the Detroit Tigers. But the one guy, I don't know that you could have afforded him, but I really wanted to keep him in the offseason. I really wanted to keep Seth Lugo.
Oh, my God, what a start.
He may be the best pitcher in baseball so far this season.
He
has been
so hot
so
right now.
nasty for the Kansas City Royals. 7 more shutout innings. He's now 3-0 with a 1.05 ERA. He's constantly on Pitching Ninja for his just absolutely ridiculous curveballs that are getting like 3,300 RPMs on the spin and just dropping off the table. And I think we all really loved what we saw from Seth Lugo last season. Now, they didn't have the option on him like they had on Michael Wacha. They would have had, he opted out and he earned his right to get back to free agency. But he ended up signing for, what was it? Was it 16?
Yeah.
That he ended up signing for? Seems like a pretty good deal right now that the Kansas City Royals got a guy who has pitched like a top of the rotation
3-year,
guy.
45.
So 15 for Seth Lugo.
God, he's been so nasty
He's
this
been
year.
really, really, really good for the Royals so far.
Yeah, buddy.
And everyone loved him. Everybody loved him with the Padres
I mean,
as well.
Ruben, him saying, I'm so much more than a reliever. I'm so much more than a 2-3 inning guy, whatever, and saying, I want the ball. I want to do this, and then doing it, and then wanting to parlay it. I just Googled him again. Sports Illustrated had an article back in December. It says that he did turn down a 4-year deal from the Padres before signing the 3-year deal.
Less average value.
Yeah.
That's the consequence, though, now of a couple of bad deals that A.J. Preller has given out.
Yes.
And you can pick whatever one you want. I mean, go back to Eric Hosmer. They're paying him $13 million this year to tweet a lot in retirement. $13 million, where you could have had...
That fool is on a Twitter rampage.
Where you
right
could have
now.
had Seth Lugo for $15 million if you weren't paying Eric Hosmer $13 million, essentially with the same payroll, and you'd have...
You're still paying Drew Pomeranz this year?
No, he's off the payroll finally, but Eric
Dodgers are
Hosmer's
paying
still
him.
there for the price that essentially you could have the guy who's been maybe the best pitcher in baseball, best starting pitcher in baseball so far this season. That's the consequence of bad contracts that eventually come home to roost, and why you can't make too many mistakes. You can't never spend anything. You have to take some chances on some guys. I totally get that. But once in a while, it's going to come back to burn you. And I feel like not being able to sign Seth Lugo over the matter of a few $1 million, that one stings so far this season because he has looked sharp.
It's very sharp. Very, very sharp. Yeah, we did the whole bit in the offseason. Who would you keep, Wacha or Lugo? And I think everybody to a man said Lugo. But again, yeah, kind of feels like the one that got away right now could really, really help this squad. But listen, you live and you learn. Can't do anything about it now.
The pitchers that they have gotten, they certainly have a rotation that could be very good this year. It would be better with Seth Lugo.
No question. Unquestionably better with Seth Lugo. Yeah, it sucks. Every time you see him pitch, you're like, oh, good for you, Seth.
I would have been happy with either one of them coming back, but Lugo was the one that really
Lugo's he just was a fierce
dog.
competitor.
He had the dog in him.
Yeah, he did.
For sure.
He did.
He had something to prove. Now it looks like he's got something to prove again.
And Kansas City's, off to a great start.
Largely in part to Seth Lugo.
Yep.
Kind of changing things around there, like an entire attitude adjustment in Kansas City. It's been remarkable to see.
Do you think everybody would have liked Hosmer had he tweeted more when he was here? Like, I'm call me crazy. I'm enjoying his Twitter feed. I'm reading it going, hey, look at you defending Manny.
I think
and
it's
blah, blah,
dangerous
blah.
for a player to be tweeting too much when they're actually an active player.
How about any?
Any tweeting?
Any tweeting. Like, hey, guys,
I mean, what current Padres tweet now?
It's a good question. I don't know.
Even in the off season, there's not a lot of activity.
They're very big on Instagram.
Oh yeah.
Very big on Instagram.
I mean, most of the guys have a team that's posting. It's just
kind of like yourself.
Promotional pictures.
Yeah, you have a team. Me and Paul.
I tweet my own tweets.
You tweet your own tweets?
Yes.
Yeah, but for the brand.
But I don't think Fernando Tatis Jr. is the guy putting up the tweets of his cleats and swag pictures every day. He's got someone who's doing that for him.
Much like
Manny
yourself.
has
like I
some
said,
tweets.
much like yourself.
They got a team.
Much like yourself.
But again, I will take credit for my own tweets.
As you should.
On my account.
As you absolutely should.
All the bad puns are my own.
I would never
puns.
I actually don't want to be associated with your Twitter very much at all. Not even the slightest.
I'm going to sign my worst puns now, Woods.
Yeah, sometimes. Sometimes I see it and I go, oh my God, why does anybody listen to us? But that's just who you are, and I love that.
So send out a bad tweet, see if it lands. If it doesn't, then just reply to it from
signed
dash
SW.
My team.
Ha's out here defending the Padres on a daily basis, which is like, I'm very conflicted about the whole thing. I don't really know how to feel.
We've got 2 more hours to go. Hour number 3 is an incorporator hour, and the chat on YouTube has done a great job providing incorporator words for Jesse Agler. He's going to be on TV tonight, so if you want to throw out some incorporator possibilities, crazy vocabulary words for Jesse's broadcast tonight, do so or tweet us at Ben and Woods. He'll join us in our 8 o'clock hour. Much more still to come on San Diego's #1 sports station, 97.3 The Fan. We'll be right back.
Padres, Brewers, today.
This one is gone!
Pre-game, 3:40. First pitch, 4:40. The Padres play here on San Diego's #1 sports station, 97.3 The Fan.
Breaking news, San Diego. There's an IRA sale going on now that'll blow you away. First-time buyers, bankruptcy, past repossessions are getting new cars and SUVs below market-suggested pricing. Even buyers without a Social Security card. Just bring your I-10. It's Hyundai El Cajon Inventory Reduction Act. Due to current affairs, Hyundai of El Cajon dealership will be moving soon to the old Boomers. We have new Hyundai inventory en route, and there's not enough room at the current location. So this is your opportunity to take advantage of huge savings below suggested manufactured pricing. Have a job? Do you have $199? Do you want a new car less than most new units with a 10-year, 100,000-mile limited warranty? If you've said yes, then get to Hyundai of El Cajon. Bring any trade in any condition and get up to 120% over Kelley Blue Book fair market value. So bring any trade because you will not get a deal like this again at Hyundai of ElCajon.com. On approved credit, not all will qualify, plus tax, title, license, and a 150 title and registration processing fee. Negative equity refinanced in a new loan. Rebates and incentives to dealer. Offers not in combination. Expires 5/4/24.
Hey, gang, it's your old pal, Woodsy. Imagine if you would waking up this time next week and being 100% personal debt-free. That's credit cards, that's car loans, even personal loans that you might have taken out. Loan Pronto's Equity Express line of credit can make that happen for you. Homeowners turning their home's equity into cash almost instantly with Loan Pronto's AI-based system. You can get approval in about 10 minutes with almost no documentation, no appraisal, and no hassle. You could get hundreds of thousands of dollars out of your home, use that money to pay off all of your other loans that you have out there. The average homeowner is saving over $850 a month doing this. Your home's value is up. Use that to wipe out your credit card debt. Get some money for a home improvement project that you've been putting off. Now's the time to do that. Hundreds of thousands of dollars at your fingertips. Approval is just minutes away. So call them today, 619-207-4336. Ask again about their Equity Express line of credit, 619-207-4336, or go to loanpronto.com, 619-207-4336. Equal housing lender, NMLS 1661781, subject to lender approval.
I have diabetes. I'm at risk for pneumococcal pneumonia.
I have asthma. I'm at risk, too.
If you're 19 or older with chronic conditions like asthma, diabetes, COPD, or heart disease, or are 65 or older, you are at increased risk for pneumococcal pneumonia. Ask your doctor or pharmacist about Prevnar 20, pneumococcal 20-valent conjugate vaccine, a Pfizer vaccine that can help protect you against pneumococcal pneumonia in just one dose. Even if you've already been vaccinated with other pneumonia vaccines, Prevnar 20 may help provide added protection. Prevnar 20 is approved for adults to help prevent infections from 20 strains of the bacteria bacteria that cause pneumococcal pneumonia. Continued approval may depend on a supportive study. Don't get Prevnar 20 if you've had a severe allergic reaction to the vaccine or its ingredients. Adults with weakened immune systems may have a lower response to the vaccine. Side effects include pain and swelling at the injection site, fatigue, headache, muscle, and joint pain. For full prescribing information, please call 1-855-213-2138 or visit Prevnar20.com.
Follow San Diego's #1 sports station on X at 97.3 The Fan SD, and you'll always be in the know regarding all things San Diego sports.
That is awesome.
KWFN and KWFN HD1 San Diego.
Hey, this is Mike Schill.
We're going to hang a star for Fernando Tatis Jr.
The Padres play here on San Diego's #1 sports station, 97.3 The Fan.
Always live on the free Odyssey app.
Standing in the rain with his head hung low, couldn't get a ticket, it was a sold-out show. Heard the roar of the crowd, he could picture the scene, put his ear to the wall, then like a distant scream, he heard one guitar, felt good in his hand, didn't take long to understand, just one guitar, slung way down low, was the one-way ticket, only one way to go, so he started rocking, ain't never gonna stop, gotta keep on rocking, someday gonna make it to the top, and be a jukebox hero, gonna start singing out, he's a jukebox hero.
Welcome back, Ben and Woods, halfway home on a Tuesday morning. Great to be here with you. Looks like a banner day out there in San Diego, from what I can tell through the little sliver of window that we have.
Why do they call it a banner day?
Like you hang a banner.
Just to celebrate.
Look at this day.
Like a championship banner.
Yeah, banner day.
If we actually hung banners for banner days in San Diego, we'd have banners all over this place.
Fewer than we used to, though, but still, I mean, it's, you know.
I mean, we're noted. San Diego's noted for its lack of championship banners.
Yeah,
but if they truly hung banners for banner weather days,
we win the weather.
Oh my goodness,
the Weather
gracious.
World Series every day, every single
parades.
day.
Like we
Most
should have
of the
a
time.
parade for our weather one of these days.
I am Stephen Woods. Go by Woodsy here. It's just easier. Paul Rindle is our executive producer. Benjamin Higgins is your friendly neighborhood sports anchor.
I go by Ben.
He goes by Ben.
Yeah.
I call him Benji. I'm one of the few to call him Benji. Great to see you guys here this morning. Great to be with all of the tier ones out there who just continue to listen to this show, and you really just make us look so much better than we actually are. I mean, it's just amazing, this community that you guys are and have become. It's just incredible. And I was talking to Adam about it yesterday, and I just am so thankful for all of you. And, you know, as I was thinking about how crappy this start to the year was, you know, and all the drama that was going on, and the fact that so many more people listen to this radio station and our show right now, just I can't thank you enough. I really can't. So we've, rebounded from a weird start to the year, and now the Padres are back, and everyone's seemingly pretty happy, you know, and it's just great to be here with you guys. I'm very thankful.
You retweeted an interesting tweet there during the break from Andrew Marchand of The Athletic, who
how about
covers
that?
sports and business. Wanted to bring it up. He said Dodgers Padres on Sunday night had nearly 2 million viewers on ESPN Sunday Night Baseball, most watched non-Yankees Red Sox game in almost 6 years for the network. And I also saw MLB Network yesterday asking the question, is Dodgers Padres the spiciest rivalry now in baseball? And those numbers would indicate that there's some intrigue and interest about the Padres and the Dodgers, and their matchups.
Why wouldn't there be? And I think, if you're a Dodger fan, you probably take a lot of credit for that. That's fine, man. Like, at the end of the day, you got superstars on your team. But I'm telling you, man, a kid in Hamilton, Ohio, puts that game on. He goes, who's that dude in right field? I want to know what he's about. Oh, I've heard of this guy. I've heard of Manny Machado. Like, the Padres have plenty of star power on their own. Obviously not as much as the Giants. Spent $1 billion to get some of these guys. And yeah, they're a dirty lineup full of stars as well. But, I mean, that makes me happy as a baseball fan. Great. Like, I'm sick of Yankees Red Sox. I mean, this is been so refreshing for the game. And the fact that it got a little spicy in the series too, I love it, man. I love John with Dodgers fans. There's actually some decent ones out there that bring some good stuff. Most of them just yell, "You got no rings." I mean, you can't do anything with that, you know? And so, but I think the fun part of it is the proximity, obviously, and then, you know, knocking them out in the playoffs after 111 wins. Yeah, at this point, if you're denying this rivalry as a Dodger fan, you're an idiot. There's just no other way to say it.
Dodger fans love to go, well, the Giants are really our biggest rival.
You can't. I don't see a word.
Nothing.
A word.
Nothing.
Ben, I thought, look,
that's the stalest rivalry on the West Coast.
There's no doubt. I haven't seen anything that warrants that. And you can say it all you want. It doesn't mean it's true. Hey, guys, I'm 180 pounds. I'm 180.
The rest of the world,
bro, I'm 100. I'm
235.
No, I'm 100. I'm 230, Paulie. I'm 180. I'm 180 pounds. You can say it till you're blue in the face. It doesn't make it true.
The reality of the situation now, you're right, Woods, is that the Padres and the Dodgers is definitely the best baseball rivalry, certainly on the West Coast, if not in all of baseball right now. Even Yankees Red Sox has lost a lot of its sex appeal, as it were.
Whoa, this is talking about baseball here, buddy.
All right, it is 6 o'clock in the morning.
For him, always. Pervert.
Sicko.
It just hasn't had the same zing.
Cachet.
Yeah, that it used to have. Lack of big names, certainly on those teams. Lack of relevance with both the Red Sox and the Yankees in the last decade. They haven't done a ton. And while the Padres, haven't broken through and won a championship, there's a playoff series now
against each other. There's a couple actually.
Dodgers certainly have been relevant. There is some spiciness when they meet. There's off the field drama as well with comments that go. That's part of a rivalry. A rivalry is not simply, well, they've historically played a long time and
played against each other, had some good
matchups,
games,
40 years ago. Yeah, that's some of it, but really in a modern sports sense, a rivalry is what juices up the fans.
Yeah, Manny and Adam makes a good point in the chat. Manny and Brewstar. I mean, yes, this has been going on for a few years.
Change, and that's okay. The Red Sox and Yankees, it's still a rivalry. It's not the same as what it used to be. The Yankees' biggest rivals, probably the Houston Astros now.
Yeah.
And the Lakers and Celtics, they're still a rivalry. But over the last 15 years, it's been the Lakers versus the Warriors. Like, rivalries change, and that's okay.
It's okay. To deny it
right
is so weird to me. Like, embrace that. Because
we don't need Dodgers fans' approval, like a stamp of approval on this rivalry. It just exists whether you want it to or not.
But to fight against it, and again, to say, no, the Giants are real. Okay, then why don't you tweet 7,000 times when you're playing the Giants? It's insanity, and that's good. Like, it's fun. Embrace it. Stop being weirdos. Stop being weirdos and gatekeeping rivalries. It doesn't make any sense. And the numbers come in, and you see that. Yeah, people want to watch these two teams play, and that's so ultimately great for baseball. And I wish, we had ownership, Ben, that could have had this sustained for the last 20 years. It's just not the case. Now you feel like, okay, they're certainly not on an even playing field, not even close. But it does remind me of the old Yankees Red Sox because the Red Sox were literally David. They were David, and the Yankees were Goliath. They outspent everybody. They won. That's the difference in the Dodgers and Yankees. The Yankees actually won multiple World Series in full seasons and dominated their competition. But the Red Sox, when they got theirs, bro, I mean, it was insane. Insane.
Here's a question for the Dodgers fans who will still say, no, it's Dodgers-Giants. Who do you boo on the Giants when they come to the plate?
Yeah. Jung-Ho Lee? Oh, no, definitely Matt Chapman. All right, you know what? That's not fair.
Buster,
They're new.
Buster Posey's gone.
How about some of the older guys on the Giants? You big Michael Conforto
Brandon
haters.
Crawford's gone.
Brandon Crawford's gone.
Solaire.
Yeah, Mad Bum gone. I mean, who
it was when in the early 2010s.
It was great
when they had those guys. Yeah, I'm sure that was a big rivalry. The Padres were doing nothing. Of course, it was a bigger rivalry between the Dodgers and the Giants. But now, I mean, the Giants are not a horrible team, but they're not really that relevant when it comes to the spiciness of rivalries on the West Coast. They're just kind of a team that's there.
Elisa makes a good point. Also, Dodger fans, which opposing radio show do you listen to? Do you tune in to the guys up in the Bay Area to hear what they have to say about the game? No, you don't. You listen to Ben and Woods. I'm glad you're here because I like giving you a hard time. It's fun for me.
Speaking of ratings, just because we brought it up, of course, the Caitlin Clark effect had the massive impact on the ratings of the NCAA women's tournament. They outdrew the men in the final. The ratings were up huge for the WNBA draft last night, where, shocker, Caitlin Clark was taken as the #1 overall pick by the Indiana Fever last night. And there were a couple of points that were made. And first of all, the WNBA is talking about adding, I think, 3 teams in the next 4 years, 1 by 2026 and 2 more by 2028. They brought up some cities. One city they did not bring up was San Diego. However, to me, it actually makes some sense that the WNBA, if, there's a new arena coming to San Diego. And while it may not be the 18,000-seat NBA arena, it might be a good WNBA venue for a team. There's not already, 2 or 3 women's professional. There's the Sparks, but that's the only one in Southern California right now. Would it be possible, and would we be interested in getting a WNBA team, a sport that is clearly, women's basketball is on the rise, and, the Wave have been supported like no other women's team in this country. Yeah. In San Diego already in the first couple of seasons of their existence. I would think that San Diego, especially with a new arena, would be a very interesting market for the WNBA to explore with expansion in the next 4 years.
Absolutely. Always in favor of bringing, pro franchises to San Diego. It does nothing, in my opinion. But
doesn't mean you have to be a fan of the WNBA or you particularly have to go to games. I'm just looking at our market and reading the room here, and I feel like there'd be a lot of support for the WNBA in San Diego.
I think there would be too, and I think the Wave is such a great example of that. I mean, I will say it's shocking, like, to see the amount of support that they've gotten, and with that San Diego FC coming in next year, I know it's men's, but the growth of soccer support is great. Do you think WNBA would support that? I mean, do you think
I think it's more likely than, for instance, the NHL, more reports out that San Diego, they talk about it, but the Ducks, the Kings, they don't want to see it. They block it. The NBA, the Clippers and the Lakers, they want to dominate Southern California. I feel like there's room maybe for the WNBA in San Diego, though. And the women's sports, the strength of women's sports here makes it a very natural fit. And, while I don't think you're going to get Caitlin Clark at this point. She's going to be on the Fever at least for the next 4 years. That sport has a lot of other stars, and it is definitely something that is getting more and more attention.
They sold out of her jersey yesterday. Fanatics did in small, medium, large, XL, XXX. Sold out. You couldn't get one last night. They're probably going on the secondary market now for double the price. What an effect she's had on the game. And that's the thing. What you have to hope for college, women's college basketball too. There needs to be, you got to ride this while it's hot. So they've done a good job marketing her, and she's a great player. But they need who's the next one? Who's the next one that they get to kind of help shepherd along and backed up by great play?
I'll tell you one record she already owns. She is now officially the most underpaid athlete in American sports.
Dane Dobie would like a word, but yes.
Her rookie deal with the Fever, which is already negotiated by their players' union. Mm-hmm. She's going to make about $70,000 before taxes.
That's crazy, man.
And it will increase through the first 4 seasons until her 4th year, when she'll make about $95,000. Not even 6 figures in her first 4 years. And I think I saw Darren Rovell pointed out that the entire 4-year contract for Caitlin Clark will be paid for by ticket sales for game number 1.
Oh, my God.
With the Indiana Fever. They'll have covered that entire deal just on the tickets alone that she brings in for her very first game. There's something wrong with that.
You're absolutely
She
right.
is not being fairly compensated for the attention that she's bringing to that league. Now, she'll get money from endorsements. People keep going, oh, she should have stayed in college. The NIL money is so good. The NIL money doesn't go away. They just call it now sponsorship money, and she will still get tons of that as a WNBA player. That's not going away.
We joked about it a couple of weeks ago when Ice Cube was like, oh, yeah, there's an invite. She wants to join
$5
the Big
million
Three.
or something, yeah.
$3 million,
$3
$5 million.
yeah.
And we're like, it's a funny topic to discuss, but like, she's making significantly less.
Yeah.
Significantly
No doubt.
less by joining the WNBA. It's unfortunate. It sucks.
And that's, it's funny.
She should have like her own deal and classification. She's so good for the sport.
She makes more money
it's
like
almost
working here.
It's embarrassing.
Yes, she's on that Prove It deal, that Odyssey Prove It deal that we signed.
Yeah,
it's almost embarrassing for the WNBA that she's making that.
It sucks.
It's bad PR for the league for them to like publish what her salary is going to be, because that is not fair for what she's bringing in. And she is bringing in. She is truly the draw for a lot of people that are going to be watching that sport.
Well, and then conversely, the headline that I saw yesterday, somebody DM'd me. I couldn't believe it. I thought it was fake. The reports of Rory McIlroy going to live for a reported $850 million. Did you see that, Benny? $850.
I did hear some Rory McIlroy live rumors over the last couple of days.
He's the anti-live champion.
He was. And then they betrayed him, and now he's not playing well, and it looks like they're going to be combining anyway. So, like Rahm, who was also very anti-live, remember?
Yeah, he was.
Why not get your money before they combine all back together, and you're left without anything at the end of the merry-go-round?
Yeah, money you actually have to earn by winning tournaments.
Musical
and
chairs.
Stuff. Yeah.
You don't have to do anything to get the money. I mean, John Rahm looks depressed.
He does.
When he's out there. I mean,
everybody has a price.
He does not look happy, but he's got his money, and I think he's just hoping. He keeps saying, "We need to combine back together. We need to combine back together." He's just hoping that it's sooner rather than later.
Yeah.
For it to come back together, but yeah, I thought that Caitlin Clark story was very, very interesting yesterday, and who knows, maybe the San Diego can be a potential destination for the WNBA in the next few years. All right, let's take a time out. We'll check traffic. We'll come back. Jesse Agler is coming up at the bottom of the hour. Still looking for the incorporator word for the day. Submit on our YouTube stream, on our Ben & Woods Twitter page if you've got a crazy vocabulary word, but one that Jesse will actually say on television. Remember, that's part of the deal. It really can't sound dirty. Jesse has some standards, so keep that in mind as you submit your words. We'll get to that coming up after this traffic check with Ben & Woods on 97.3 The Fan.
Got a little shout out to his family, Benjamin. See that? Breaking news.
Baseball-wise.
Baseball-wise. Cardinals Hall of Fame manager Whitey Herzog has died. He was 92, and I will be 100% honest. I thought that he had already left this plane.
Departed this mortal coil.
I really did.
I will say condolences out to the Cardinals family and Mike Schilt as well. I'm sure
100%
had many dealings
yeah.
with Whitey Herzog over the years and his all of his time in the Cardinals organization.
We'll ask him about that on Friday when we chat with him about his relationship with Whitey Herzog.
Mike Schilt,
Hall of Famer,
as much as anyone that I've met, valued those relationships, the knowledge that he gained from all those people that he worked with in the Cardinals organization. Whitey Herzog, I'm sure. Tony La Russa, he talks about constantly, but also just so many people in their minor league system as well. He was he was just a sponge for so long in that organization, and I'm sure a lot of that came originally from Whitey Herzog.
Well, should we? We should.
We should. Why not? Yeah.
And I really hope we can see more unity and more peace when already things are so difficult. So, shout out to his family.
Rest in peace, Whitey Herzog.
Not passing away, but as long as we're on the subject, retiring from the broadcast booth yesterday, making the announcement, was longtime Yankees radio announcer John Sterling, who released his last game. Actually, was a little over a week ago, and he had already kind of scaled back his schedule a little bit. A little surprised just by the abruptness of the announcement so early in the season. Usually when a broadcaster's going to hang it up, it's like, this will be my last season, end of the year. So you certainly hope there's nothing.
Nobody starts a season just to pull back 3 weeks.
Yeah, usually not. So you hope there's nothing, hugely seriously wrong health-wise with John Sterling.
Paul, does John Sterling?
Oh, sweet angel.
He's known for both of his signature home run call and his win call at the end of Yankees games for the last 36 years. And while a lot of people would roll their eyes and groan a little bit at his kind of corny home run calls, every single member of the Yankees would get their signature own play on words, punny home run call.
All rise, here comes the judge.
And we had so much fun when Giancarlo signed there, right? Remember how weird Giancarlo no si può sto parlo. I'm like, all right.
I mean, he definitely had to reach for many of them.
Oh yeah,
but there were some iconic ones as well. "Burn Baby Burn" for Bernie Williams was always one of the great ones from John Sterling, and I think I saw a stat where he's witnessed like half of the Yankees playoff games in their history.
Yeah,
which
insane.
For that organization, that's a ton. That is a ton of baseball that guy has witnessed over the years, and just a part of the fabric of New York sports and listening to their games over the years. So, former Ben and Woods guest, Paulie did arrange him through that voicemail long ago when he joined us on the show.
That's my favorite thing.
Yeah, Paul, does John Sterling? It is 12. I don't know. Let's say it's 12:30.
Actually,
on Wednesday afternoon in New York, so it's 10:30 your time.
Right.
No, it'd be 9:30 your
Right.
time. Please, my math was not my strong subject.
He's doing
Give me a
show.
call when you want me on the air. I'd be glad to do it for you. I'd love it, as a matter of fact.
Oh, it's the best part.
At some point, I'll be home late afternoon. And or tomorrow all afternoon. So just give a call. Thanks.
It's like talking to my wife on the phone when she calls me. "How's your day?" "It's good."
When a conversation that could take 5 seconds takes 4 minutes.
That's so good, man. I love that voicemail so much. Such a nice man. And, you see some news come down like that, and you just hope that the grind just got to be too much, and he's like, "I can't do this. I thought I could. I can't." There's absolutely no shame in that whatsoever. The great John Sterling stepping away.
I hope he'll get to enjoy all the tributes, and I'm sure the Yankees have a lot of things planned for him going forward.
I saw an official press conference this weekend is scheduled for that.
No, that's good.
That's good.
That's good.
You give him a nice send-off.
Yeah.
All right. Speaking of great radio voices, the legendary Jesse Agler, not quite not quite as legendary as John Sterling
Not yet.
but certainly on the road toward such legendary status.
In like 40 years, he's going to leave a voicemail for somebody like that, and they'll play it on their show.
Absolutely. Jesse will join us from Milwaukee, probably from his haunted hotel room at the Pfister Hotel in Milwaukee.
Pfister? Yeah, absolutely.
And we'll play some Incorporator with Jesse when we come back on San Diego's #1 sports station, 97.3 The Fan.
Got some bad connection at the Fister right now. Just try to get Jesse on the line. It was cutting out a little bit.
Ghost in the machine.
Yeah, Ghost in the machine at the Fister, maybe. You never know.
I'm guessing he's just on a cell phone. Does anyone use their landline at the hotel anymore?
No.
I don't even want to touch the phone at the hotel.
You don't. Yeah, you also don't sleep under the covers
That's
at
true,
the
too.
hotel. I don't know the last time I held a hand with a cord. You have to call room service but they're all cordless now. When's the last time you had a handheld phone in your hand?
Do they even have to? You have to call room service still, or can you?
Yeah.
Do they not have an app at the hotel? Where
They
you
may.
just
They may.
type
the last
it in now.
2 times I've done it, I've just called down, but it's always a cordless.
The stretchy cords on the phones were kind of could play with them when you were talking
that's
on the
true.
phone, and you kind of wrap them
Wrap
around
it
your
around.
finger a little bit, and
But like you're like chained to that area, and
Yeah.
I'm a walker. I'm
oh
a
yeah,
walk
you couldn't
and
used
talk.
to have to be right there,
right there.
little payphone booth, and you just had to really know
The little
there's-
metal cord.
cord wouldn't pull very far. Okay,
1
we're going to
foot
check
long.
traffic, and Jesse is going to join us from Milwaukee right after this on 97.3 The Fan.
From the 97.3 The Fan Traffic Center, here's Kelly Danick.
Well, guys, no change in that situation in the North County southbound 15. Still going to find single-digit speeds from Rainbow Valley all the way down to this police activity. Deer Springs Road, 2 right lanes remain blocked. Once you get past that, you're still going to see some slowing, all due to some road work down to Center City Parkway. Crash clearing on westbound 78 before the 15, but now eastbound 78 before the 15. Getting reports of a collision. No details as to whether that's blocking lanes. The Cordell and Cordell traffic cam shows this accident in the South Bay northbound side of the 5 right before Main Street. Vehicle over the right shoulder and one in the center divide. I'm Kelly Danick with Ben and Wood, San Diego's #1 sports station, 97.3 The Fan.
Well, let's transition from our fascinating and modern discussion of landlines to talk to the voice of the Padres, Jesse Agler, who joins us right now on an Incorporator Tuesday on 97.3 The Fan. Good morning, Jesse.
Good morning, guys.
How you doing?
Doing well. How are you?
I'm doing great. I'm testing your connection there.
It's not great.
Is that the Fister's fault?
No, I think it's your fault.
It's our fault.
It's our fault.
It could
Probably.
be. It's either.
I'm hearing him okay, though.
Okay.
I think we can plow on here.
Yeah, I'm surprised you want to plow through.
So I'm curious about logistics on travel. When it was a very rare situation where you have a Sunday night game into a long flight, into a road game the next day in a very far-flung part of the country, Jesse. How did that all go for you and the team on Sunday night into yesterday?
I mean, very tired, but, it's funny because this actually happens probably more than people realize. I think actually this is one of the rare things where the West Coast teams, generally speaking, get a little bit of a break. Because most of the time when you fly east a long way, you have a day off. They have rules, it's part of the collective bargaining agreement, actually, in terms of like how long a flight is and therefore what time you have to play the day before and if you have to have a day off the next day, that kind of thing. So a lot of the East Coast teams and the Midwest teams very regularly play like a 7:10 or a 6:40 with a game somewhere else the next day. Because we generally have longer flights, we often play earlier if we don't have a day off the next day and we have to go somewhere else. But that was not the case this time. So I don't know. I think I got to bed about 5:30 yesterday morning. You try and sleep in a little bit and then you go play a ball game. But look, they've gotten very good about sort of understanding the human body for the players, and like what they need and what they don't need. So, there's a lot of talk about hydration and there's a lot of talk about sleep. And, they certainly weren't asking anybody to get to the ballpark early yesterday. I think the old baseball cliche is that it hits you more the next day, meaning today. So, we'll see. But I think everybody seemed like in pretty good spirits yesterday.
All right,
let's try them
one
more time.
We're still a little choppy.
It's
Why don't
choppy.
you call us? It's 833-288-0973. You can charge us for the long distance fees when you call back, and or call us from the landline. I wonder how much they actually charge at hotels nowadays.
Don't you have to put like a calling card in or something?
Remember when you'd call and then on your phone bill at the hotel it'd be like $17 because you called home for like 4 minutes at a hotel? All right, I think this works a little bit better. So,
Sometimes when they call us instead of we call out, it's a little bit better.
So, yeah, it was a good point. Today may be the day where you're actually feeling a little bit more. But Woods, you wanted to know, was that flight a a truly happy flight after a win over the Dodgers.
And I do wonder too, like, is the flight is it kind of like what happens on the flight stays on the flight, or is that something I wonder if you can speak about? I just want to know how the mood was. I'm imagining it's pretty good, but I'm also
here's what.
Oh, there he is. Hi.
Yeah, I'm here. I don't want to like burst your bubble, but I've now spent parts of 11 seasons traveling with a major league team. By the time you get on the plane, everybody is on to the next, almost every time.
Nice.
It's whether it's a win or a loss, whether you're feeling good or you're feeling terrible, almost every flight feels about the same.
You got to flush it. Yeah.
That's part of being a baseball player, is like having that mentality. And like, they could sweep the Dodgers by the time they get on the plane, because at that point it's a couple hours after the game ends, right? Because you got to pack up, got to get to the airport, got to get on the plane, all that. By the time you take off, it's looking forward, not back. I don't know that I can remember two flights in my career here where it felt different on the plane because of what happened, either good or bad, in the game. So it's like that's how quickly the page is turned most of the time. There's no big party, after a win. There's no like hanging your head after a loss, because if you're doing that, your head is in the wrong place. So the plane is far less exciting than you're imagining. It really is. It's just about getting to the next place, turning the page, getting on to the next game, and sort of moving on with the season.
The mark of a true professional. If I have a bad show, Jesse, I carry it around with me till the next one. It's the worst. You need to just learn how to flush it and move on. That's why those guys are pros at what they do. That's fascinating stuff to me.
I've already flushed today's show. It's gone.
As you should have. You absolutely should have.
We still have an hour and 16
We got an hour
minutes left.
16?
I've already flushed
Yeah.
it. I'm really good at moving on.
100%.
Jesse, I've got a question for you as a broadcaster. Obviously, there are certain at-bats in a game, and certain players, when they come up, there's just more anticipation when Fernando Tatis Jr. or Manny Machado is at the dish that something special may happen. Have you already started reaching that level when Jackson Merrill comes up? Like, all right, now this is, just a little more attention kind of goes into it when Jackson Merrill steps to the plate.
I mean, the guy's hitting, what is he hitting now?
353. Yeah.
Yeah. So sure. Yeah. Anytime somebody hitting 353 comes to the plate, I'm going to be excited. But yeah, no, I mean, it's every year we have some version of the conversation in April about, hey, this is a long season, and it's true. And every year it's like, as baseball fans, we get collective amnesia. Oh, the hotel phone is ringing. That's exciting.
Is
it
the ghost?
That is exciting.
Answer it. Let's
patch him in.
Yeah, see who it is. I'm curious. No one
know
calls.
what it is? You know what it is I forgot something in L.A. and they shipped it here for me. So I'm sure they're telling me that the package has arrived.
What did you forget?
A medication.
Oh. That's in the bathroom. It's always, you have to remember the hotel room. Check everything twice before you leave the hotel room.
It's what it is it's a numbers game, and like with the number of ins and outs of hotels that we have, like it's just at some point it's gonna happen.
I get so panicked every trip I ever go on. I've told you guys.
Do you use the safe?
The DOP kit. Every time I leave anywhere, I go, I left my DOP kit. I have to pull over on the side of the road and open my suitcase. Ooh, I brought it.
What's your 4-digit combination for the safe, Jesse?
I don't use the safe. I don't have anything valuable enough that the safe is required.
Do you have to be like? What are you doing on your vacation?
Yeah, what are you putting in there, Ben? You're safe.
Like, I'm looking at the top of the dresser right now, and like the quote unquote valuables that I have out would be like a thing of Purell and a chapstick. Yeah, I mean,
I've used the safe.
I don't think those need to be locked away.
So if I'm on vacation and occasionally you want to go down like to the pool without your wallet, I will put my wallet in the safe as opposed to leaving it in the room where housekeeping could come in. I don't want someone to take my wallet, so I've put the wallet in the safe. And
something else.
Then, of course, I feel like I'm going to forget what the dang 4-digit code is when I come back. But I've used it.
He's amazing. We're talking to the great Jesse Agler here on Ben and Woods this morning. And just a travel chat this morning. But I want to talk about the actual baseball that's been happening too, Jesse. Pretty different feeling over the last week, certainly. And, I did see a little bit of panic about Joe Musgrove yesterday, but I do submit that anytime a guy does not clearly have his best stuff and figures out a way to give you 6 innings and competes his tail off, yeah, man, like it's not a sustainable way to live by giving up runs early and hoping your offense picks you up. But I think a lot of credit needs to go to Joe for finding a way to grit through 6 last night and, eventually pick up a win.
Yeah, there's no doubt about it. And there are going to be days like that. And, I think you could really make an argument that in the margins of a long baseball season, that's one of the most important things because it's going to happen. And so when, you have a starting pitcher who has a game like that, who's feeling like that, all right, is he going to get knocked out in the 3rd inning and tax your bullpen in a way that could have a days-long trickle-down effect? Or is he going to be able to, either with the help of the offense or not, sort of muscle his way through 5? That makes a huge difference. Not having to cover those extra 6 outs with a reliever or 2 is something that's going to pay dividends today, tomorrow, and maybe even over the weekend against Toronto. I mean, that's the importance of doing something like that. And when you consider how often it's going to happen, and it's a lot. I know we like to imagine, these top-line starting pitchers going out there and throwing 6 or 7 strong every single time they go out. It's not the case. It's just not the reality of how this game works. So every time you get a night like last night, where it's like, oh boy, this guy might not make it out of the 3rd inning, and he ends up being able to go 5 or 6, that is like incredibly big for the big picture. And we saw things sort of spiral away last year because that wasn't happening. It was one of 1,000 things that weren't happening. But so far this year, that's one of the key things that I think is different from a season ago.
Talking to Jesse Agler, voice of the Padres, and we were just mentioning the retirement announcement from John Sterling of the Yankees, 36 years in the booth. And you obviously have a different style. Everybody has a bit of a different style, but do you feel like you've modeled yourself on anyone in terms of like how you call games, Jesse, based on who you listened to growing up?
It's funny because obviously I get that question a lot, and I don't think there's any way to deny that you're influenced by those that you hear. There's kind of like a legendary story about Vin Scully that when he was first getting started with the Brooklyn Dodgers, Red Barber told him, never listen to anybody else because you don't want to like absorb their style. You want to be your own. And I've heard a couple stories over the years that Vin took that extremely literally. Like I've heard one version of the story that he had never heard anybody else call a baseball game ever in his life. I don't know if that's actually true or not, but it gives you a little bit of a sense.
How is that possible? Yeah, seriously.
Yeah, I know. That was probably apocryphal, but either way, it's a little bit of a fine line because there is something to that, right? You don't want to listen too much to one person because it's subconscious. It seeps into your brain and you sort of start to not turn into that person necessarily, but you probably start to take more than you should from that person. So I love listening to baseball on the radio. I obviously watch a bunch of games on TV as well. And I'm sort of very intentional about not spending too much time listening to one person or one team because I don't want things kind of seeping into my head. But yes, of course, we're always taking, a little bit here and a little bit there. Mud and I had a conversation last night sort of joking about, nothing's an original thought. Nothing is yours that you came up with. We're all borrowing from each other either consciously or subconsciously. That's just sort of the nature of our business. But I've been influenced by a lot of people. I try really hard though, to sort of be me. And boy, I don't know if anybody was themselves more than John was, in terms of what we do on the radio. Just a wonderful voice to start with. He's one of those guys you could literally listen to him, just read the ingredients off the box of cereal and it would be entertaining. And he did it his way for a very long time. I think there was a period of time when people, fans, critics, whomever, didn't fully understand and appreciate John because he wasn't cookie cutter. And I think as time went on, people started to realize this job, particularly on the radio, but you could argue it for TV too, is not necessarily about perfect play-by-play and being overly precise in your descriptions. Those things matter. They are important, obviously. But know your audience. That is rule one of public speaking. And I think about this every night when I'm with Tony on the radio here on San Diego's #1 sports station, 97.3 FM. I think, who is my audience? It's somebody stuck in traffic in Del Mar or on the 78. And they don't need the most precise description of the ground ball to shortstop for the second out of the inning in a 5-1 game. They need to feel comfortable. They need to feel entertained. They need to feel familiar. And so our job is to just make that person feel at home, feel relaxed, like they're enjoying the baseball game. And I think John was an absolute master of that.
That's so well said, and that's literally our philosophy here in the morning as well. Just try to be with people as they drive into work and about to slog through a day or whatever. That's it, always
Put a smile on somebody's face
always
sitting in traffic.
Always go back to that,
That's
man.
it.
That's the whole thing.
All right, we're gonna go to the Incorporator.
Oh,
Don't
my
steal
God.
that. That one's
All
mine
right.
now, Jesse. Woods, you've got the word for Jesse today.
Jesse, I got to get out of here, bro. I have to get out of here. I'm begging you. Can you ask the team if I can travel with you guys or something? I'm losing it at this point. Yeah, one of our tier one submitted this in the chat, and I like this. The word itself, I don't think it's going to be too difficult for you. Erinaceous. 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 Always fun with the definition, like or relating to the hedgehog. Erinaceous.
Hedgehog.
Which is amazing. Like, what a
How does
weird.
it get its own adjective?
It's like or relating
There are some wild words in
To
this language.
the hedgehog.
How many animals get their own adjective?
Right.
That doesn't.
Exactly. Erinaceous.
I would just say hedgehoggy.
Yeah, he's very hedgehog.
He's very hedgehoggy.
Yeah. Erinaceous.
Hedgehog-like.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like or
Like,
relating
is there
to
a
the
word?
hedgehog.
Is there a word for dog-like or elephant-like?
Canine?
No, it's just- you just say-
Maybe. I don't know.
Canine?
That's more scientific. I guess erinaceous is probably.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess it's a scientific. I didn't know hedgehogs were that interesting. All right, we'll have some fun with that.
Erinaceous.
I'm on
text-
TV
I'll
again
text
with
you.
Mudge,
Yeah, I'll
so-
text it to you.
Another couple days on television until Don gets back again. They need a private plane for Don, I said earlier today, to get him a little faster to and from his national gigs.
You have to take that up with the Turner broadcast.
That's what we said. Turner can afford it. Yeah,
yeah.
Get Don
Yeah.
faster to and from his
He's
games.
just big leaguing everybody. Sorry, guys. Another TBS game. See you later. Like, just a big leaguer.
Jesse, have a good one. Good to talk to you as always.
You too, guys.
All right. I'm glad we had him call back. It was a much better connection on the third try there when we got Jesse back from the Pfister Hotel in Milwaukee, where his package
Pfister?
is
Yeah,
safely arrived. That's pretty fast. If he forgot it in L.A. on Sunday night, and he's already got it Tuesday morning.
You said
That's
it's like
good.
a medication. I imagine that's something you want.
Good package
overnight.
delivery, good service at those big league hotels. You don't get that in the minor leagues.
Why did you pry on what he wanted? What he was
What
getting?
medication specifically,
Yeah.
Jesse?
Are you suffering from depression or something? What do you need? Do you have trouble sleeping?
I know that I forget things in hotel rooms. You forget things in hotel rooms.
I forget things everywhere.
Random stuff.
Unless
for
it
me,
was a
it's
medication.
oftentimes in the closet. Like I left something hanging in the closet.
100%.
Like my jacket, and I didn't check the closet before I walked out the door. That's
the
what
amount
gets me
of
all the
final checks that I do
Yeah.
every time I leave a hotel
and you still
room.
miss things somehow.
Yeah, I know. Happens to me
The
almost
charger
every trip.
plugged in next to the bed.
Megan will be in the hallway
I know it's
outside of the
there.
room, and I'm just like, hang on, let me just do one
One
more
more
check.
time. Hundreds
All
of
right, any
chargers.
I know it's there.
My favorite is this. I've called down before. I've forgotten a charger on the trip. Like, forgot to grab it off my nightstand at home. Called down to the front desk. Do you guys have an extra charger? No, we don't. I'm like, BS. I've left 40 chargers. You're full of it.
Just throw them all away.
You are so full of it. So,
Hotel employee has to be great if you ever need a charger.
if you ever need anything, imagine the things that they have found in rooms. I mean, imagine the things they found. I would love to interview one someday.
Well, I apologize if I embarrassed Jesse. I mean, we all take medication, so
I'm sorry.
I don't think it was really that embarrassing.
I'm
very
sorry,
humanizing.
Jesse. I'm very sorry
Very
as well.
humanizing. All right, final
you're
hour.
okay.
Ryle report. Paulie will tell you what medications he's on and get you to Annie and Elston at 10 o'clock on San Diego's #1 sports station, 97.3 The Fan. Thanks again to Jesse Agler. You can listen for him to incorporate the word arenaceous into tonight's television broadcast on Padres.tv. Of course, we'll have Bob Scanlon and Tony Gwynn for you at 4:40 and the Eco Water SoCal pregame show at 3:40 again today with Sammy Levitt. We will preview the matchup, Game 2 of the series. Padres going through their first 3-game winning streak of the season.
Just keep checking off boxes.
Yeah,
I like
keep
that.
checking them out. It's stacking those dubs too, man.
First wins on back-to-back days. They just had Sunday, Monday this year. Now I'll get to that 3-game winning streak. Of course, last year the stumbling block was always 4 that they couldn't get to. But they've already checked so many boxes this year.
Don't stop now.
That they didn't. For instance, I
Don't take your foot off the gas.
Yeah, seriously.
I saw in the UT, the newsletter this morning, that last year the Padres had 4 comeback victories when they trailed by 2 runs or more in the 5th inning or later.
That's it.
They have 4 already this year. They didn't even have 1 at this point last year. They already have 4, and they have matched last season's total of late comeback multi-run victories already in 2024, including, of course, last night when they were down 3-1 going into the 5th inning. They got 1 in the 4th, and then they got 6 in the 5th, and eventually went on to the 7-3 win over the Milwaukee Brewers.
That's something. It's so necessary too. I mean, if you want to make a run, a serious run, you got to stack as many wins as you can while you're playing hot, while things are going your way. And it feels like the ball is bouncing the Padres' way right now. So, like I said earlier, like about Jackson Merrill, I mean, he's living right now. Hopefully he continues that torrid pace, man. It's hard to imagine, but he surprises us at every single turn.
He's now, I think, in the top 10 or even top 5 in the National League in batting average.
Yep.
He's moved all the way up. It's been a long time. I used to watch Padres games since the team wasn't very good when I was growing up, simply to see where Tony Gwynn would be in the batting standings every single day. You know, you'd watch and see where he is compared to Todd Helton or whoever he was going up against for the batting title that year. And he got 2 hits tonight, so he's going to move up a little bit and a tick. It's been a while since there's been a candidate for a batting champion, and I don't know that Jackson Merrill in his first season will be able to keep up that pace. Even Tony Gwynn didn't hit 300 his first year. It was the only year he didn't in his career hit over 300, but that's especially nowadays when so few guys hit 300 in Major League Baseball, that would be an incredible accomplishment if Jackson Merrill could stay anywhere close to that over the course of his rookie season. But boy, is he off to a great start so far.
Yeah, I like that Schilt, is letting him hit left-handers, and Wade Miley's in the line on the bump today. He's like sneaky good, and he's been really good against the Padres. And Croney, don't have an update yet on his calf. I mentioned it earlier. Probably a good day to give him off, Benny. Don't know what you're going to do at first. If you put Brett Sullivan in, he's also a lefty. So if you want to play the matchups, and it seems like that's something that they want to do. Sugar maybe. Plays left, maybe
Jurickson
Profar at first.
Yeah,
which
I like that idea. You thought of that.
It's not terrible, but if you wanted to give Merrill a day, and I don't know why you would, because he's red hot, you're going to have to figure out somebody that's going to play first base for you today. So I would imagine Eggy Rosario is going to be in the lineup. Mash is left-handed hitting. Does not have a single all year. Every hit that he has is all extra base hits. So fine with that. Keep that going. Like I said, Miley on the bump today. You can hit Eggy third. He sees left-handed pitching so well. Made a nice defensive play last night as well at third base. So hopefully he's going to be in there today, and I would imagine a pretty right-handed heavy lineup.
Eggy has a 273 average, a 333 on-base percentage, and a 727 slugging percentage.
Man.
You do not
Can't hit a single, dude.
You don't see that kind of gap between the OBP and the slugging very often.
It's the dream. Just all you do is slug. Just doubles and homers.
That's like Joey Gallo, which you'll see from Joey, except he walks enough that his OBP is usually pretty high. So, all right, we'll talk more about today's game coming up. Right now, though, let's get some headlines from Paulie in today's Ryle Report.
And get things started here with our today's edition of the Ryle Report.
Now tuned into the greatest.
Welcome to the Ryle Report. with Paul Rindle.
Hi, Paul.
All right.
2 stories from the world of sports that we haven't gotten to yet.
We'll start off in Major League Baseball.
And 1 story that you didn't know you needed.
Are you laughing, biatch?
It's the Rindle Report
Hey, Paul, how you doing? Okay, how are you?
on 97.3 The Fan.
Are you ready to bless the mood? I need some help, please.
That was good.
Can I get a oh yeah? Oh yeah.
All right.
All right. Good morning, my friends.
Good morning. Did you change the music on us?
I did.
There? That was jarring.
What is that?
I was wondering. I was hoping it would just go unnoticed.
No, what noticed? Whoa.
So we had to change out the music because not that anybody cares, but
YouTube was catching it.
The old bed for the Rhino Report was not royalty free, apparently.
all right.
No kidding.
And while it usually runs pretty low while we're sitting here talking and playing clips, there was a moment in yesterday's show where Woodsy made a inappropriate joke.
Inappropriate.
I know,
from
it
Woods?
was very unlike him. And we just sat in silence like this while we reacted. And YouTube caught that 3 seconds and said, can't do that.
That's unreal.
So switching it
The
up.
magic of the internet.
Yeah, how about that?
It's one of my better jokes, I thought. Got a lot of reaction on that one.
Yes.
Hopefully the missus didn't hear it. I didn't hear anything, so.
You were proud of that one.
I was.
Yeah. First story here today. I love a good sports documentary. ESPN kills it with their 30 for 30s. And I saw yesterday that ESPN Films has announced an upcoming 30 for 30 on the legendary ESPN Sports Center broadcaster, the late, great Stuart Scott.
Dude,
I cannot wait.
I'm going to weep.
I cannot
You're gonna
wait
weep
for
during
it.
that thing, man.
Just the way that he brought everything together on his broadcast, he was so good. A life gone far too soon.
Oh, way too soon.
I think back to, how can you not think back to his ESPY speech? He's been gone almost 10 years now. He passed away in 2015, but I did pull just a little bit, about a minute, of his very emotional 15-minute speech where he got the Jimmy V Award at the 2014 ESPYs. So less than a year later, he passed away, but this moment was just amazing.
I can't ever give up because I can't leave my daughters. Yes, sometimes I embarrass them. Sometimes they think I'm a tyrant. That's a direct quote. There is an adjective that describes tyrant too, but I'm not going to go there. Taylor and Sydney, I love you guys more than I will ever be able to express. You two are my heartbeat. I am standing on this stage here tonight because of you. My oldest daughter, Taylor, I wanted her to be here, but college sophomore, summer school, second semester, starting this week. Baby girl, I love you, but you go do you. You go do that. My littlest angel is here, my 14-year-old. Sydney, come up here and give Dad a hug because I need one.
Are you trying
I
to
say
kill me?
Thank
right
you,
now?
ESPN. Thank you, ESPYs. Thank all of you. Have a great rest of your night and have a great rest of your life.
It's emotional, but I
no way.
don't ever want that to be forgotten. I think that's an important speech. If you have 15 minutes, the whole speech is on YouTube. You won't regret it. But Stuart Scott, I cannot wait for this documentary. I don't know when it's coming out. Further details will be announced later, but it has been greenlit by ESPN, and it's a go.
Couldn't even get through that.
Being a sportscaster is almost inherently a bit of a nerdy, corny profession. I mean,
speak for yourself, dog.
I am speaking for myself. I'm speaking for myself. Jesse's got a little bit of that in him sometimes.
Jesse is a stone cold
even
killer.
even the greats have a little bit of that, punny, nerdy corniness to them. Was there ever a cooler sportscaster?
No, you didn't get that vibe from him
than
at
Stuart
all.
Scott.
No.
You never did.
And you never got the I'm smarter than you vibe
No,
from
not
him.
like Keith Olbermann had the smarter than you vibe.
Smarmy a little bit.
Yeah.
You never got that vibe.
Rich Eisen has a little smarminess.
He does. He's great. But
it's great. Yeah, no, I love all of them, actually. But Stewart is the only one who did the job without ever seeming uncool.
Yeah, 100%.
He's always cool.
The official press release from ESPN summed it up great. They said the film will tell the story of the trailblazing broadcaster who shattered preconceived notions of how on-air figures were expected to look, talk, act, and think, and in the process, helped bring hip-hop and black culture into the sports media mainstream. Scott entered the sports journalism world determined to remain authentic and quickly established himself as a force to be reckoned with. He drew admirers and critics for his unique style, enlivening the broadcasts with references to hip-hop and other black cultural touchstones.
Yep, he was great, man. Just
Can't wait for that
phenomenal.
one. All right, next up, a very bizarre scene yesterday in the Rockies-Phillies game.
Oh, boy, this kind of move that it's hard to defend.
Yeah, Kyle Freeland, now, he appears to be okay. I think probably start there.
Start there, 100%.
But he injured his shoulder. It was his non-throwing shoulder after he was used as a pinch runner in the 9th inning of their loss to the Phillies.
I just realized I have 2 non-throwing shoulders.
And 2 non-working legs.
He
the last guy to pitch run in the history on the planet. You know
Ben
the
Higgins.
two.
Everyone else is unavailable.
You know the 2 guys on the motorcycle in the Guinness Book of World Records. I'd put them in before I would put you in the pitch run. Either one of those guys. Hey, off your bike! You're pinch running. Before I put you in there.
So they put him in the game, 2 outs, and the game was tied 1-1. He went to third on a wild pitch, and then he tried to score after another pitch got past the catcher, and he just hurt his shoulder. But they're saying he's okay.
Bro, I get it. You don't have a lot to be excited about if you're a Colorado Rockies fan, manager, teammate. He's the one bright spot.
Yeah.
He's one of one
and a half, I don't know.
3, maybe. They are 4-13. They're going nowhere. Bud, why? I don't care if he runs like Usain Bolt. Like, you're a pitcher. You're going to pitch, and that's all you're going to do. If it's September and, you want to take an AB, all right, fine. The pinch running in April? And wanting him to score the go-ahead run, so he's going to have to go, Buddy Black, I love you, but holy smokes, man. And I think he's done this before.
I think you're right.
It doesn't make it okay.
No,
it never
just
made
because it worked
okay.
a couple of times.
Right.
All it takes is the one injury.
I mean,
Joe played left field once.
He did. Can you imagine?
Nothing counts from 2020.
Can you imagine? You're
to
right.
be clear.
That's true. But can you imagine Joe goes barreling back for a ball and slams into the wall? We'd be like,
hurts his shoulder.
Are you out of your mind? Remember when Joe did the play in the minor league game?
AAA rehab.
We were screaming at him. Please stop. We get it. You're super competitive. And Freeland could have been in.
No one cares if you win this game or not.
He could have been in Bud Black's ear going, come on, dude, put me in. But that is just, I mean, look, he's terrible to start the season, but he is literally their ace. Like, he is their best pitcher. You can't even judge. He's got good stuff. He just plays in a bad ballpark on a bad team. But, yeah, man, I don't think that was the right move, man. I really don't.
Finally, got a new invention that is trying to get going here, and I'm not sure if this is going to work out or not. Big fan of the Ring cameras and Ring security, anything like that.
Saw a coyote in my yard this morning.
Wow.
Big one. Big coyote.
That's terrifying.
Yeah, very.
That is terrifying.
Very.
Yikes. Most people have Ring cameras now, and you can watch on your phone from wherever you're at. You can see if a package has arrived, if somebody's on your doorstep when they're not supposed to be there, or whatever. You have total security coverage, and it's great. Well, there's a Kickstarter that is going around right now for a device called Paint Cam Eve, and it's very similar. Home security. It's like a Ring doorbell, except this one's going to have the capability to shoot paintballs at targets with, quote, ultra-high precision.
It's like with an app? Like you're on your app and you just want to, all right,
it
shoot
says
the
it's a
paintball?
smart device with facial recognition, and the paintball firing can be triggered by you on, I assume, on the app, or you can just set it up to be automated, which would, I'm sure, have no problems whatsoever.
DoorDash, Amazon, I'm not delivering there anymore. Do you know how many times?
Kid knocking on your door to sell like magazine subscriptions.
Ow! You know how many times my wife, you know what she does to me? I'll be out in the front and she'll see me on the Ring and she'll hit the big alarm. Like the and it scares
the klaxon.
It scares me to death, and I'll try to be like, GD, stop it. She does it to me all the time.
What
I'm
do the
almost afraid
neighbors
to
say about that?
Bro, she does it for like 2 seconds, but it's loud enough to where you're like, but I'm like, my ticker will explode.
Jeffrey in the chat says, can't ding dong ditch anymore.
No. Be amazing. And then, there's some kids running around with paint all over the back of their legs. Were you at my house earlier? I think you were. Bro, all right. I don't hate it.
I'm going to go ahead and assume that this will not actually
It's
come
not
to
going to
fruition.
catch on, I don't think.
I think there's a lot of lawsuits.
The temptation would be just to do bits. Just be like, Ben, hey, I do not feel well. Will you bring me over some Jorge soup? And I'm inside laughing like, here we go. Just pound him with paintballs. Be the greatest thing of all time. Of all time. I like this idea.
Well,
Door-to-door salespeople will be on notice.
100%. 100%.
Can I leave you this pamphlet?
No.
About our Lord and Savior? That would not happen
You
as
can,
often.
but it's going to hurt. It's not without punishment.
I can send you the link, and you can join the
I-
Kickstarter if you'd like to get
What
it on
is
the
it?
ground level.
What is it marketed as? Is it a defense for?
It says Paint Cam Eve, redefining smart security.
Okay.
Target marking, paintball defense, app control, smart detection, and night vision. The first security system with integrated real-time face recognition and game-changing paintball
Is it
marking.
less to you're not hurting people, you're just marking them so you know who it was?
Or just
back off.
Giving them a little enough to know I don't want to come up here again. There's this in our neighborhood. It's a nice neighborhood, but there's a lot of car robberies. They walk around. They keyed my car. They tried to get in. We caught it. We saw it on the camera. Tried to get in, didn't, and the guy runs his key down the side of my car. I'm like, oh, cool, dude. What did you want? What do you think you're gonna get out of my car? Right? There's not much in there. And I do wonder. Now that I wouldn't mind. I don't want to hurt somebody permanently. It's not.
Paintballs don't feel good.
No, it does not feel good to get hit. Have you ever played paintball?
I've never actually done
Let's go to
paintball.
break. I want to come back and talk about this.
All right. Paintball?
One more thing.
I always think about the bank robbers, the die packets that they use
yeah.
to mark the bank robber.
Guilty.
Which one of you robbed the bank? Oh, the one who's covered
in blue dye?
Blue dye
Yeah.
right there.
That's great.
All right,
Imagine paying for
let's
something
talk
with
paintball.
paint-covered
Paintball,
dollar
and
bills.
then Padres preview when we come back after a check of traffic. Bennett Woods on 97.3 The Fan. Before we jump back into paintball talk, just an update. You mentioned that rumor about Rory going to live. He has addressed that rumor today. Todd Lewis of the Golf Channel reporting that Rory says he has not been offered anything to join
Do
Live.
it in your Irish Rory accent.
I don't have an Irish. We've already established that no one has an Irish accent.
No, literally nobody does it better.
Not going to live golf, even for $850 million.
You will play where for the rest of
I'm
your
going
life?
to play on the PGA Tour for the rest of my life.
It's gotten much better. Much better. He's just brilliant, actually. Better than Tom Cruise.
He did say that, though, today.
He did.
That he is PGA Tour
for life.
For life.
Lifer.
Even if he was offered $1 billion. He's not going. Don't quit asking.
Yeah, I'm not going to, so quit asking. $850 million. That would be, the only reason they were going to do that is just for a power play. Just it's like, I knew it'd get you. Everybody has the price. How about $850? Bro, how about $100 million?
Yeah.
You're like, oh, God. I mean, it's been, especially when you're not playing
Billion.
well.
$2 billion.
Yeah.
$5 billion.
$5
We've
billion.
got it. You know what? We've got it. We want you badly enough. Everybody has a price. Is that true? Does everybody have a price?
Does everybody have a price? Oh.
I mean, if you won't do something for like $2 billion, would you do it for 10? I mean,
Right, no, what's the difference?
There is a point where if you won't do it for a certain price, you won't do it for anything.
God, it was great. I love that accent. It's gotten much, much better. And you do it on command. Like, that was really good. I'm very proud of you. It's great. Never played paintball, huh?
No. It looks like it hurts.
It does.
And I don't like doing things that hurt.
I didn't play it a lot.
Other than being a Padres fan, which
Right.
that's pretty much my
San
level
Diego
of
sports
pain,
fan.
yeah.
I grew up with, like, paintball was a thing,
Sure.
for sure. And then it turned into airsoft.
What's airsoft? Isn't it the
Like
same thing?
BB gun.
The BB guns,
Whoa,
the pellets, little...
I did not know that was an evolution. I just thought, like...
No, they have, like, courses where you can go and play, like, airsoft.
But shoot each other?
Yeah.
With BB guns. We shot
I
each
hope
other with
there's
BB
eye
guns.
protection
There
and
is,
all of
there
these
is.
things.
And there's that in paintball, too.
Yeah.
What about laser tag? Did you ever play laser tag?
Once or twice.
That's fun.
When I did it, it didn't work very well.
Ben's just getting like, I don't get it. I'm pointing right at you. I can see it. I can see the...
You remember the early laser
Oh,
tag
it was
and how
horrid.
wonky it was.
Like a helmet?
Yeah.
I'm aiming right for you. It's not catching. What a joke laser tag is, to be honest. It really is. Paintball was like the next level. And I didn't have my own gear and stuff, but I would play with friends. It hurt. It hurt bad, but I didn't know that they evolved into
Guz
airsoft.
midpoint. It's not like the traditional metal BBs that you probably remember. They're like little plastic balls.
Plastic
but
balls.
It still hurts.
It still hurts.
I mean, there's the whole paintball like culture with the capture the flag, like military
like,
teams.
Yeah,
and
the
you're
whole thing.
going and doing that, and it not something that ever appealed to
We
me.
did it part of a bachelor party weekend in Portland. They had
That's
a course, and you can set up like 4-on-4, and there's capture the flag or whatever you want to play. It
Seems like we have a new bit idea.
Paintball.
We'll get Adam. We'll go 2-on-2. Me and Woods versus Ben and
Oh,
Adam.
come on. I don't get. Why do I have to have Adam? Why does Adam have to have me?
He's like, bro, he's little and like quick.
I want
You
Tony
need-
Gwynn Jr.
You need somebody little and quick like Adam. He can hide. Paulie and I are huge hulking figures. Like, you're gonna get us. All right, we have to
I
do
can't
this.
do anything. I'm slow. I'm big.
It's gonna be great.
Huge target.
I'm in.
It's gonna be fun as hell. Tier 1 paintball day. Out of this, a great idea.
I'm
was
just
fun.
gonna find like a hole and just hide the entire time. Won't even unleash a shot.
The guy in the military just hides behind the sandbags. He's like, "How is it out there? You guys are kicking ass. Keep it up. I'll be here."
Doesn't one player have to stay alive to win the game at the end?
I don't even
I'll
know.
be that player that just tries
hiding
to
in a tree.
stay alive the entire time.
Yeah, Adam Klug, you want to do team building? There's your team building. Paintball. Let's do it. I'm all
We
in.
need a draft.
Ooh,
then.
you go show
like
versus show.
Or a draft.
captains and a draft.
I like show versus show versus show.
Oh, like
Versus
different
show
teams?
versus show. Yeah, it's pretty solid.
You, me, and Paul, Annie Elston and Braden, Scraby, Ello, and Gwyn. Now, who's favored?
I don't know.
It's actually fairly evenly matched.
I think so.
I'm going to take the afternoon show out of it. I don't think any of them ever shot a paintball gun.
Really? I bet Scraby, yeah.
Tony's going to be the most athletic
Tony's
of all
most
of us
athletic.
by far.
He is, like,
and
the most athletic.
Chris is surprisingly spry. You'd be. I mean, he used to be at least somewhat of an athlete.
Yeah. We get smoked, I think. I'll be honest. I think we get killed.
Scraby and I kind of cancel each other out, although he probably is. He's younger than I am.
He's way
so
younger. I think
that's
we get
gonna
killed.
Help. Braden's young and probably he's going to move around pretty well.
Yeah.
No idea about the Annie Elston factor in terms of like marksmanship, stuff like that.
Annie's silent killer.
Well, I mean, a lot of the game doesn't require anything in terms of speed or just target shooting. Can be anyone could be good at that.
I don't know.
I'm not bad in terms of like dart things like that require accuracy. Is not my worst.
All right, but you got to move.
That's not good. That's the part that I would struggle at.
Okay,
but like
if we need a sniper, that's you on top of a ledge, just sniping people.
Like
all right.
Horseshoes, cornhole, darts. I'm not bad at those kind of games in terms of accuracy.
I want to do this. That's the station. I think it'd be really, really fun. Yeah, somebody said like
I don't want to do like face paint.
Oh yeah, we want to do the whole thing.
The face paint
yes,
and everything.
Of course.
Gotta do it all. Yeah,
all three shows. Right. All three shows versus Adam. I'm in for that. This guy's by himself. All right, run.
We'll give you a 5-second head start.
1, 2, 3. I'm so in. I'm so in. Oh, it'll be like a field trip, man. It'll be so great. There's one in Alpine. Okay, good. Streaming it would be gold. Adam would love that.
Alpine.
Then he's going to try to find a sponsor.
Randall barbecue afterwards to celebrate.
Best day ever, man.
I'm reading in the chat here. James puts this in, and there's got to be a story to this. He said, "Try going paintballing against the Marines on Pendleton. ... Never again."
No.
Why? What'd you think the outcome was going to be there?
Oh, Tyler.
Let's go play football against the Kansas City Chiefs. That'd be fun.
Tyler says all the show hosts against sales.
Oh,
sold. Like, Woodsy, you cannot bring that Rambo knife with
Station
you. Like,
versus station. We can go up against
across
John
the street?
and Tammy. Or,
Never mind.
I didn't think about that.
That's what I thought you meant. I got to go to the bathroom.
All right, we're going to come back. Speaking of sporting events, we got tickets to give. Tickets to give away to the San Diego Mojo, our newest team at the Viejas Arena. They're going to be taking on the Omaha Supernovas. It's pro volleyball. Got a 4-pack of tickets for the game on April 23rd. Be the third caller right now at 833-288-0973 and win Mojo Supernovas tickets. Grab your tickets now at provolleyball.com. Cheer on San Diego's newest team, the San Diego Mojo. And we'll come back with our game preview. Game 2 of the Padres series against the Brewers coming up next here on 97.3 The Fan.
I didn't know there was a paintball movie, Ben, but Jonathan in the chat said, Woodsy, you need to watch the movie Gotcha. And he says, his college paintballer caught up in espionage. Anthony Edwards and Linda Fiorentino.
Talk to me, Goose.
Yeah, Anthony Edwards. Also, Linda Fiorentino. Solid. This movie came out in 1985. I did not know paintball existed in
She was the
1985.
one. She was in the original Men in Black, right? She was
Yeah.
that was Linda Fiorentino.
Big
Yeah,
fan.
I like her.
Mm-hmm.
Quick update here. Padres expecting large crowds this weekend when they welcome the Blue Jays to town, but very limited tickets do remain for all 3 games. You can visit Padres.com/tickets today. First interleague games, right, of the season. Padres have not played any interleague matchups yet.
I believe you're correct.
Got the Blue Jays coming to town. You only see them every other year. So Vladimir Guerrero Jr. and
Bo
Bichette, some of their stars coming in. A chance to see them this weekend.
Be there
coming
Sunday.
out to Petco Park.
Yeah, be there Sunday.
Yeah,
And,
we'll all be there on Sunday.
Yeah, we'll all
It's
be
our-
there on
remember the
Sunday?
biggest fan contest that we did a couple of months ago? This is the day where the winner gets the suite, and we all show up for the biggest fan game on Sunday.
I'm looking forward to it. We've got a Tier 1 game that morning. Weather looks like it's going to be perfect this weekend, knock on wood. So we'll actually get a game in and then go straight to the ballpark for the Padres Blue Jays.
Adam has literally sent us
6 reminders?
At least 6 reminders to be at the game for the biggest fan, which is, I don't mind. I like going to the game. No problem there. Happy to be there. You're going to come after your Tier 1 game.
Yeah,
on
we're coming
Sunday.
straight there after. Paulie, are you coming too?
Yeah.
Okay,
I'll
good.
be there early, and then I'll head to Channel 10 after like the 5th or 6th inning. But you can come later if you want.
No,
you got
I'm
your game moved up, so you
I
can be there the whole time.
I
That's great.
moved my game,
Yeah.
and the other coach said, sure, no problem. So we moved it to 9 a.m. So as soon as we're done, do a little wipe down in the car and cruise out to Petco Park. So excited about it.
All right, we're going to check our traffic for the last time, and then we can look ahead to today's sports day, including the Padres matchup in Milwaukee next year on 97.3 The Fan.
From the 97.3 The Fan Traffic Center, here's Kelly Danick.
Traffic is sponsored by California Coast Credit Union. Well, I've been talking about it all morning, guys, and I'm not stopping now. Yeah, you're still going to find that southbound 15 to be a hellacious ride from Rainbow Valley all the way down to this police activity, Deer Springs Road, blocking the 2 right lanes. In fact, in the backup of that, there is a stalled car in middle lanes. Kind of sucks to be that person. My condolences. Northbound 15 before Valley Parkway, there's an accident that's been cleared out of the right lane, so watch out for a little residual there. And on the coastline, southbound 5, right before Santa Fe Drive, collision over to the right shoulder. Get 9.5% APY rate on a 5-month certificate for a limited time at Cal Coast Credit Union as we celebrate 95 years in the community. $500 minimum balance. Restrictions apply. Insured by NCUA. Visit calcoastcu.org/celebrate. I'm Kelly Danick with Ben and Woods, San Diego's #1 sports station, 97.3 The Fan.
Paul, how do you boot somebody out of the chat? Because Tier 1 Jocelyn put in the chat, the UCSD ropes course is a fantastic team building event. Adam Klug, that would be fun for the crew.
Nope.
Why don't we just let's run a half marathon as the station? Sounds.
Should I put her in timeout? I'll
Put her in timeout. That sounds. We're not looking for ideas here. We're not crowdsourcing this idea. Let's put the. Can you imagine us out on a
Team-building
ropes course?
parkour.
Yeah. Like, how about powerlifting? Team building, powerlifting, and distance running. How about the triathlon? Team building triathlon. Jocelyn, come on.
Bad idea.
Bad idea. Put her in timeout. Cannot do this. I'm sure. Megan says it's gorgeous. I'm sure it is. You seen all of us? I don't want to go do a ropes course. I just don't. It's a lot of effort. Cameron says, I can imagine you
I
doing
can't even
these.
climb up a rope, so it's
Bro,
done
I
before
never-
it even
hey,
starts.
I never could.
I couldn't either.
Paul, you ever
even
get-
if you had the knots tied in the rope,
Did you
I
ever
couldn't
get
do
up
it.
the rope in gym?
No.
I never
You can't-
got up.
Never got up.
There was
the
always
rope.
it was always the unexpected kid.
That
too.
kid, and he was like, and he get up. You're like, you stupid
Like not
son of a
not
bitch. I
overly
hate you.
athletic.
No.
It's just always that one kid though that could just fly up the rope.
I've never felt more like a weakling than on rope day and chin up day. Mom, I do not feel good. I do not think I can make it to school today at all. Rope day was mortifying. And I hope that they've banned it in schools so that my kids' self-esteem is a little bit better than their dad's at 48 years old. I was so envious of those kids that could do it.
I think even if I was able to get to the top of the rope, the worst part would be like, now what?
Yeah, now I got to shimmy down too. Like this is
rope
burns on your legs.
Rope burn's the worst.
I remember there are people that can just see a rope and just climb it, which is, and they like they do that thing where they wrap their leg around it and they shimmy up. I don't have it, man. I've never had it. I've never been able to. With the knots, you're right. Even you're standing on the bottom knot and you're like, oh my God. Oh my God. Just weak upper body. Could not get up that stupid thing. I hated that. I hated distance running more than anything in school. It's just the worst. So no, Jocelyn. No feats of strength. Thank you very much for this stupid show.
Here's what we got coming up today for you. 3:40 EcoWater SoCal pregame show, 4:40 Padres and Brewers. Dylan Cease making his fourth start for the San Diego Padres. And while his last start was his first win, he's actually been very hard to hit in all three of his starts. He gave up 2 hits, 4 hits, 2 hits, and 2 earned runs, 2 earned runs, and no earned runs in his last 3 starts. Just 1 home run in those 3 starts as well. He struck out 6, 7, and 7. Dylan Cease may not be quite getting all of the results yet, but he's pretty much been as advertised.
He's my
so
game
far.
1 starter, my friend. Period. The end.
For
right
a playoff
now.
series right now, yeah.
100%,
He's been the Padres' best pitcher so far, and he'll be on the mound against another veteran in Wade Miley, the left-hander, who will go for the Milwaukee Brewers in Game 2 of this series. He's also gotten off to a good start this season with a 2.25 ERA this year. And as you said in the past, has given the Padres some fits before as well. But, this team has faced other guys that have also done well against them, and seems like they've bounced out. Now, he's only had 1 start, so he only gave up 1 hit in that start against the Cincinnati Reds, who are usually a pretty potent offense. So we'll see how he backs it up today in his second game of the season.
Looking through, looking through some of the current Padres and what they've done off of Wade Miley right now, Benny. Xander's hit him pretty well, 333 average, slugging 556. Tatis has hit him well, just a couple ABs, 1 for 2 with a bomb. Manny's got 2 bombs off of him. Xander has 1. He's pretty much owned Jake Cronenworth, 1 for 7, 2 Ks.
We'd be surprised if Jake's in the lineup tonight for multiple reasons.
Profar's hit him pretty well as well. So, yeah, the guys that you're going to see in there for sure. Hassan Kim, limited action, 1 for 3. So, but yeah, so you're gonna see a little bit of mixing and matching, I would imagine, today. He has not seen what Eggy Rosario can do off of him. That's my pick tonight to have a monster game.
And then Padres will wrap up the series tomorrow morning. We'll be off a little bit early for Sammy's pregame show at 9:10 a.m. Off day on Thursday, and then that aforementioned series against the Toronto Blue Jays this weekend at Petco Park, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday.
So I have no knowledge of this, and you can look this up. How are the Toronto Blue Jays doing?
About 500.
Okay, I was gonna guess, but I was going to say underachieving, but I just based on past performance in the last couple of years. Are they 500?
They're 9-8. So just like the Padres, 1 game above 500. I mean, you could say that's underachieving, but that's kind of really where they've achieved the last few years.
True.
A few games, a gamer here or there above 500 the last couple of years. I'm sure they would hope for better, but
scary-ass team, though,
everybody
dude.
in the AL East currently has a winning record.
Yep.
At least 1 game above 500 in that entire division. So, yeah, it'll be an interesting team to see this weekend. Also, on the sports calendar today, Woods, what am I looking forward to?
Today on the sports calendar, you are looking forward to the NBA play-in game.
Yes, the first 2 play-in games of the NBA postseason tonight, starting with the Los Angeles Lakers playing at the New Orleans Hornets in the 7-8 Western Conference play-in matchup at 4:30 p.m. on TNT. The winner gets the 7 seed in the West and plays the defending champion Denver Nuggets.
How many games they play?
1.
Just 1 and done.
Just 1.
Okay.
Now, the loser of the 7-8 game gets to play at home against the winner of the 9-10 game, which is the second game tonight, the Golden State Warriors at the Sacramento Kings.
That's fun, though.
That's an elimination game. The loser of that game is out. They're done. Their season is over.
So the 7-8 seeds,
it's 2 chances, basically.
You get 2 chances.
Yes, and the 9-10 have to win both to get into the bracket. So
it was a weird idea when that was
LeBron
brought
says
to
it's
the
so
game.
complicated they want to get rid of it. He's probably just mad because they were the 8th seed. They would have been in and facing Oklahoma City if there was no play-in tournament, which really is kind of the ideal outcome for the Lakers. I think you'd rather face the 1 seed Oklahoma City than the 2-seeded Denver Nuggets.
Mike Greenberg from ESPN was getting dragged, I guess, because I didn't hear the whole segment, but I guess his take was that the Lakers should throw their game, not play LeBron and AD, so that they would not have to face the Nuggets.
The risk there is very obvious, though. If you lose that game, you're putting your entire season into one game against either the Sacramento Kings, who I think won 3 of 4 against you this year, or
the Warriors,
the Golden State Warriors, who still have Steph and Clay and can go off on at any time, and all of a sudden you're now done for the season. You just obliterated the Pelicans 2 days ago. I think you just have to take your chances, win the game, and
you don't
figure
play.
If you're going to win the championship, you're going to have to beat the Denver Nuggets at some point. If it's not in the first round, it'll probably be later on. Just take care of them early if you think you've got a chance. And if you don't, doesn't matter anyway who you play in the first round if you're not going to try to win a championship.
What time's that game?
4:30 for Lakers, Pelicans, 7 o'clock for Golden State, Sacramento, and then the Eastern Conference will be tomorrow. First game's interesting. The 8-9 game, or the 7-8 game is Miami, Philadelphia. So you got the Heat, who made it all the way to the finals last year, remember, from the play-in tournament, against the Sixers, who got Joel Embiid back and have been playing really well. I mean, they're better than a play-in team, so that's an interesting matchup. The other two teams, Atlanta and Chicago, I think are kind of the losing record also Rans, but they do get a 9-10 game tomorrow as well.
You said
also.
Hornets, by the way. It's the Pelicans.
Pelicans, I'm sorry. They were the Hornets, and then they moved back to Charlotte. They're very confusing. The teams change all the time. Yeah, Pelicans, sorry.
Well, I'm excited to see the tweet from the Dodgers wishing the Lakers good luck tonight. I know you are as well. City of Champions, right?
And maybe they won't.
Fight for LA, all that. Very cool. I'll be watching Padres.
This is more Southern California's team, I think.
Totally.
SoCal Lakers.
Something that Lakers fans say.
Well, we don't have a team here.
It's more tingly than hot.
San Diego, so.
I'll be watching Padres, my friend. I will not see 1 second of.
I will also be watching the Padres.
Yeah, I'm excited.
Keeping just a little tab on what's going on.
Some noties on your phone.
Love a 4:40 first pitch.
It was last night at 7:08. I remember looking down. The game's coming to a close, and I just looked at Hannah. I go, "This is living. This is the kids were down." Still light outside, but I was like, this is living. Game's almost over, and this is a beautiful thing. A 4:40 start is like the greatest
Now, it's a little, for some people, it's a little early because they don't get home from work and they're missing
Since when
the
do I
first
care
few
about
innings.
other people?
I know you
Ben,
don't.
I'm talking about myself.
I understand you don't, but it's a little early for some people.
I understand. It's not like the old days. You can watch it on your phone at work. You can watch it and listen to it in your car right here on 97.3 The Fan, San Diego's #1 sports station. You can listen to that. There's a lot of ways to consume. For your old pal Woodsy, gets those kids down, gets a nice, healthy night's sleep. It's pretty wonderful. Pretty wonderful.
Now, the later games, though, your kids are already down. You can focus on the game.
It's hard.
That's different.
My God,
you're going to be in dinner, bed prep time. That's hard to watch the game for you.
It very much is. Bo asked me last night, what if they hit it into the high deck? What's your question? Well, does that mean, I go, it's still just one run. Well, what if there's 2 guys on base? It's still a 3-run homer.
There's no distance bonuses. This is not the home
it's
run
not the home run
derby.
He's bro, I love him. Obviously, you know that. He's making me insane. The other day, and I tweeted this, if you missed it, we get out of the car to go pick up Taylor at preschool. And there's a penny on the ground. And Bo goes, "Oh, Dad, look, a quarter." I go, "That's a penny." He goes, "Oh, some kind of nickel." And I'm thinking, bro, I start ripping my hair out of my head.
Kids today will have a better idea of what cryptocurrency is than
100%.
coins, which are almost
That's
completely
a nickel,
irrelevant.
Oh, is that like a Bitcoin?
Oh, some kind of nickel.
What can you buy with it? Nothing.
Literally nothing.
Nothing at all.
We're watching the Masters on Friday. I tweeted this one. He goes, "Oh, Xander Schauffele is playing. He has a friend named Xander." So he goes, "Oh, Xander, like my friend, that's a cool name." I go, "Yeah, he went to San Diego State." He goes, "Oh, so he played basketball?" I go, "No." I go, "They have other sports there." And he goes, "Well, what sport did he play?" I'm like, "What are you watching him playing?" You're watching him play golf. He clearly played golf there. He's doing this on purpose. I'm convinced. He's going to drive me insane.
Oh, man.
Tim says getting gaslighted by a 5-year-old.
Gaslighting, yes. Some kind of nickel. This is one of my favorite lines I've ever heard. And I don't know if he was kidding or not. I have no idea.
All right, that's it for us. Annie and Elston coming up next for executive producer and imaging director Paul Rindle. For Stephen Woods, I'm Ben Higgins. Have a great rest of your Tuesday from all of us here at San Diego's #1 sports station, 97.3 The Fan. So long, everybody.